It's all or nothing. Let's go. Game number 1. We're going to kick it off immediately here with Wolves and Alliance. All stopping in the same area, just quickly grabbing some goodies and then getting themselves ready for the fight that is definitely going to be breaking out momentarily.
Off spawn has been very spicy in the league so far. It settled down now that everyone's playing a lot more spread out, taking their ISOs and usually going for a timing attack. The map is still very new, so it hasn't been solidified how the Fireflies and ult timing attacks work out. We're seeing Alliance and Wolves high yield and a nice POI looting up. But in general, everyone has been preferring not taking the pure 50-50 off spawn just because of how spread out all the loot is on the map. We're going to get DRG with the jellyfishes and OUG going at it. Don Q is going to pop that F1, head in, trying to back up the King. The King, nice weaving to the outside, and Don King is going to be jumping in, gets a nice grab for his team, creating a ton of space for them. DRG trying to pick this back, but the jellyfish doing a ton of damage to Kakaxi earlier. Don Q already stripped of his armor. It's even fight right now, but OUG is going to lose their first player, but another jellyfish is going to come out, and it looks like TE is going to come in with a third party.
Yeah, huge third party coming in from TE. They're going to get a whole bunch of damage off, but with that Kurumi ult, keeping Don Q alive in the middle of all of this. Wash being forced back. The work with the staff was absolutely huge from him in this one. It's not done yet, though, for DRG. They've still got to finish up SS. Ult pop there. The first of these slashes. Doesn't quite make its mark. Does hit the next one onto SS, though, who is going to quickly jump up into the skies, using that glider just to put some distance between him and Don Q, but Don Q is going to keep the pressure up onto him, catches him mid-air. That was the last slash, though, so SS has to make a break for it, has still got some armor, but Don Q is hot on his heels, going to be finishing him up nice and easy, and DRG, they took a big fight, 4 kills off the bat.
I'm surprised OUG chose to challenge this area, just because on the Kylan competition, Zipping cannot cleanse those jellyfish, and unlike the mushrooms on Morris, the jellyfish actually do more damage. And just in the middle of that fight and how chaotic it is, they end up taking so much damage just from the jellyfishes going off. It's almost like being a 4th player using the terrain to your advantage is possible with Kurumi. I know for a lot of teams, Sunwing is usually populated by Kurumi teams. Now going over at Imperial, it looks like EWG wanted to land nice and quiet. They're able to pick off 1 kill. And if you're able to pick up 6 kills in trios in Imperium, you're able to get that red sword and scale up your team significantly. Now, Takeda does get a little bit by the weapon rarity, but not as much as Zai or Hadi, where it would be an increase in damage. We're going to get BBE versus Alliance under the Ballista. Roy Hehe, veteran, Vietnamese veteran, leading his team on the Takeda. Timing ult's going to be invested. Kurumi ult has to come out to stabilize, where he has to get his armor picked up. Both Kurumi ults are going to be invested. Horizontal's in the flank by NY7 Alliance, but he is going to get parried. Nice parry from BB, fighting from the center, fighting their way out of this. Alliance is going to be getting juggled by the staff of Fat Milk. Roy Hehe, nice crowd control coming out for him, trying to dictate the pace right now, but Iben is going to take a ton of damage. Temi will fall. Now Alliance up 1 kill. F1's going to be popped out by their Takeda. Roy Hehe getting juggled, getting pressed away, but he does have the red jade. 1,000 health is going to be healed. He has a nice isolated one of them down to a 2v1. Can he find some time for Fat Milk to get a clutch off? Roy Hehe jumping LMB, fading away, looking for an arm bait, but Yoma with the parry. Roy Hehe able to fade out though, but the focus side is going to come out and they will secure the kill.
Yeah, Fat Milk isolated, left on their lonesome, wasn't able to come in and save the day. So Alliance just going to be gathering themselves their next kill. They are really accelerated. It's been a fantastic year for Alliance. A team who have kind of always been a little bit underwhelming have just been popping off all season long. They're 5 kills into this game as well. Really solid start for them. And DRG, that team who spent a lot of points on their comp, have actually made it work so far. They got themselves those 4 kills, so sitting quite comfortably as Wolves, the winner of the last bi-weekly, and kind of the team to watch coming into this week, are currently 0 kills. They're in a pretty quiet start. They got this Hardy comp, so They're probably going to be looking to jump into a realm of Yang at some point. They find themselves in a bit of action already, though. Think they're waiting. They don't really want to burn any major abilities with those realm of Yang spawning up relatively soon. So just going to back off and call it there for the side of Wolves. Looks like Alliance are near ASE. Maybe looking for a cheeky fight, but looks like Alliance not going to get that opportunity. And kind of looking at the teams that are pretty geared up right now, I do expect the Alliance and DRG want to get their hands onto those realm of Yangs just due to the fact that they're going to have some pretty good loot after all the fights that they've been taking. So we have to keep our eyes on them for when that spawns up.
Teams are transitioning now to early Yang. That the off-spawn fights have been complete. Now, all the Viper teams looking to assassinate, prevent some of these teams from getting in, but it's no longer so free to get into Yang. You're seeing a lot more teams go out of their way to play edge map, to try to go to the realm of Yang that is really, really far out, away from where most of the lobby ends up landing. Now, in the beginning of each game, you're actually able to see where everyone is landing. Then you have a full minute to plan after you see the initial landing spots of every team. So it is possible to map out your hunting path, your looting path, every single time in the beginning. And we usually around this time, we saw a little bit more fighting in the past, but it looks like because a lot of people are playing the Siphon Com, because a lot of people are playing the Kylan Hadi, these teams are slowing down and trying to guarantee that first Yang fight. Now, JDG, we saw them trying to sneak up on Wolves, and good thing for Wolves that they had their support player watching out. If that Tesla ult would have come down, the Viper silence would have been guaranteed, and Wolves would have found themselves in a very, very awkward position. But good protocols from them, keeping themselves safe. Even stores at this point in Naraka are very, very dangerous. We see more and more teams setting up ambush plays depending on where stores are on the map.
Well, remember the stores got changed, so they got better armor and stuff in them. So they're a lot more high priority than just the Soul Jade reroll they were last year. As you can see, where the realm of Yangs are spawning up, spread across quite a lot of the map. One in the dead center, though. This is a very central circle, actually, almost closing perfectly on the center of the map. But those realm of Yangs spawning up, kind of getting a rough idea of who's heading where. So it looks like 5-2-1. And Zone are looking to head over towards one realm of Yang. Wolves and Alliance are currently scrapping very lightly over this realm of Yang that will be spawning up in the center of the map. And the question is who's going to get in it? There's only so many spaces. EWG quite happily sitting on top of their realm of Yang, off on the distance, so no one contesting them off the back of that one. It's just that waiting game to see who's going to get their hands on it, because there are a bunch of teams in the area. This is just going to be a massive fight for the realm of Yang once it spawns up. It looks like it's Wolves who are able to get in. They're going up versus ASE. Across the map, we got Alliance versus DRG and EWG versus Zone. But we're going to keep our eyes here on this Wolves ASE game. Ultimate charged up onto Zem. We know how much work the Kylon can do once they start those dashes, but for now, just going to be holding that trigger. Zem looking for a line of sight onto Lemon. Can't really find that opportunity to jump in already, though. We have seen a fair amount of damage land onto his team. ZK losing half of his armor. Zem just going to get himself up into the sky thanks to the Hardy glider. Just gets himself away. Still waiting for that ult opportunity. ZK's going low. There's going to be the ult burnt there from Zem. He gets one dash on. Goes in for the next one. Lemon loses a lot of HP. He's keeping that pressure up onto him. Zem, still very tanky. A lot of healing thanks to this character. He's just going to keep himself going. A couple more dashes refreshed there. Does so much work, but the healing also doing a lot onto the members of ASE. Can they keep the pressure up onto them? So far, his team are doing a fantastic job of staying alive. The rest of ASE now breaking away. Lemon gets himself knocked back. Zem's keeping the pressure up onto him. Down goes Lemon, or does he? He gets the clang off finally. Finished up in the mix of everything. Zem keeping the work onto Corky. Corky almost down. Down he finally goes. Zem trying to find that opening, trying to find the opportunity to close this one out. There it is. Wolves, an easy 3-0.
Yeah, ASE, value and effort from them to go against this composition. With Hadi being able to put his cube down and cancel his ult at 60%, you see Wolves go for the ultimate extension there to basically get 4 ults in one Yang. Sam does a really, really good job on the Kylan to delay his ultimate for as long as possible, to trade 2 for 1, get that Kurumi ult out, get that Matari ult out defensively, leaving that Zai left, and even doing such a good job with his zipping to delay it for as long as possible, where Zai was pretty much halfway through her ultimate with him CCing her. She gets put on the defensive, and Wolves is able to clean it up. They're looking really, really locked in today, kind of continuing their dominance. Now, last season, they were top 5, but they never really like secured a consistent top 2 placement. And if they're going to keep this up this season, we might see Wolves finally reach their stride and challenge the top 3 teams, so traditionally have been JL, GG, and KLA. I'm excited to see if Wolves can keep up this momentum. They're looking really, really in form, Hiprain.
Yeah, Wolves, honestly, they have found a form going into this split. They had a pretty okay spring, a lot more consistent than we had kind of known of Wolves, because Wolves were always a team for years who had amazing hot drops and then kind of just fell off after that. But they are now starting to kind of spread that into a consistency across the board. Now, I might have to hold my thoughts because they are getting themselves into a fight with Alliance. Both of these teams have the Phoenix, so they will be able to get that rebirth off, as already, actually, Wolves have managed to turn the tables here. Revenge getting turned onto Zem, doing a whole lot of work there. Revenge does get the ultimate off, gets himself the fans out, and there's the Sandstorm to turn this fight around, but Revenge losing a lot of HP. Zem still with those dashes, going to do as much as possible. Alliance down that player. This is going to get really dicey for them. ASE coming in. Remember, they need to get Soul Blooms to get the revives off, as they have that debuff on. Zem going low, gets into the glider just to break away. He can see that there's other teams in the area, so they want to wrap this one up nice and fast. Already got the man advantage over them, but in come ASE. Revenge is able to take down ZK, and this is just getting hairy. ASE pop in and steal it all, cleansing themselves with the debuff, and they're not done. NiHQ getting jumped onto in the middle of all of this, and I think he actually went for the revive, the salty run back. Nope, he has the buff, down he goes, and he is out of there. ASE, what a tidy up. Zone, though, keeping the pressure up onto Lemon, as Lemon just has to dash away with his F.
Great job from ASC to come in and cleanse some of their Yang depletion. Now, they don't end up getting 3 kills, but 2 is more than enough to disengage and find a res later. But X1 going to be jumping in versus ASC. They're not just out yet. ZDL and his squad waiting, trying to find a nice angle onto ASC. They weren't here initially, so they're not sure where their ults are at, but they, just from the body language, X1 is going to commit to this, guessing that this team is one of the Yang depletion teams and a little bit weaker. They see that blue armor, and they're going to activate, diving onto them. Multiple teams are descending upon this. The second Yang is coming out. VDI is able to pick up 1 kill. Don Q trying to survive the situation. Temi ult's going to be invested by JL. Jumping in to the fray. TXJ is getting juggled by the Kylan, and just like that, the cube. They hit and run, get out of there. Now JL sitting on the outside, looking in, looking at this landscape. DRG is joining in the fray as well. So many teams sitting, waiting for this next round of Yang. Looks like X1 is going to get poked out by JL. Continuing it. JL's Fong is going to fall. The poison splash doing a ton of damage to everyone around. But DRG coming in. They're going to invest this Cicada. They don't need to go around Yang. Can find the kills here, and Wolves now joining in. They thought it was safe. It was not. DRG is all in. They want to find some kills right now.
They've got last 15 seconds.
Wolves is
DRG have 15 seconds left. It's done. They're not getting the Soul Blooms
is ticking down. They couldn't find the kill. Just a little bit too conservative, Hiprain.
Yeah, they jumped into the action a little bit too slow. They actually give 5-2-1 a kill there off the back of that one. But they weren't able to close the gap onto Wolves, who are a little bit isolated from one another here. They all join up with one another, so going to get himself back in. Obviously, after winning that Realm of Yang, they got himself a legendary pole sword onto Zem, so he's feeling very comfortable right now. It's just a bit of a waiting game. A lot of teams having a big fight there, Imperial, but it does look like with this Realm of Yang, that second realm. I don't think anyone's actually going to join Alliance. I think they're just going to get themselves a freebie here. Oh, no. Here's EWG. Right into the middle of the action. So we are going to get something very, very fun here. Revenge, ultimate charged up and ready to go. That's going to be breaking down. How are EWG going to manage and handle this one? Alliance have had an absolutely brilliant day so far. It's Revenge just staying up in the sky, scouting out, waiting for the perfect opportunity to come down. They found themselves a member isolated. It's Cookie. Cookie taking so much damage from the fan. There's the ultimate for Revenge. There's the Sandstorm as well already. They're low HP, forcing the Karumi ultimate out. Cookie just doing his best to stay alive in the middle of all of this, but their health bar is being slowly but surely whittled down. They have been able to get a bit of a turnaround and keep themselves going. Revenge losing a fair amount of HP as he's juggled up in the sky for the moment. He's used all of his charges of his ultimate, but he's not done. NY7 very low. They can't quite find that opportunity to turn onto him. Cookie has been able to regenerate all that armor thanks to the Karumi ultimate, but their health bar, that is a little bit worse for wear right now, as they've already lost NY7. Alliance seeing if they can turn this one around. They've only got themselves to play with. Down they go. EWG take the win.
Frustrating stuff for Revenge. EWG's Cookie on the Karumi, buying that time for her two teammates to clean up the fight. She just gets out of there, tap dodges, rolls over and over. You see the Takeda just reaching, trying to catch her. With the change of the wave roll on the glyph system, it just allows you so much more movement than we were accustomed to. For years in Trios Naraka, everyone was running around with 2 dodges. Now most players are running around with 3, if not full stamina at times. We're going to see Wolves with the Draco Storm. And this is one of the transitions or new things we've seen in the current meta, that second Yang, a lot of teams are grabbing Draco Storm. Normally we saw White Tiger's buff, sometimes Mystic Might, but rarely did we ever see Draco Storm, just because Draco Storm does not refresh your cooldowns. Now in certain situations you would go Draco Storm just in case, like no one challenged you, got a free Yang, so you might as well double down. But we're seeing teams even bluff it, showing that they have Draco Storm, and teams are now assuming that they got a free Yang. So I'm curious to see if more and more teams pop that Draco Storm. But Wolves being one of the most dominant teams right now, we're seeing the top 5 really change this overall strategy and taking that Draco Storm for their second Yang.
Yeah, it is big. Obviously, they're kind of waiting to get that White Tigers towards the end, like what we saw Wolves pull off in the bi-weeklies. Power of that one. Like you said, Raven, you kind of expect people to start targeting the team with the White Tigers when they do pick it up. A lot of Sand Siphon teams mean there's going to be a fair amount of contest onto these late game Spirit Wells. As Alliance, they did see EWG. They decided not to pull the trigger and jump them, knowing that they had the Mystic Might, I guess, and just decided they didn't want to take that one. But it's giving them 3.5 minutes to pick up these kills, and TE are the next nearest team to them, so we'll see whether or not they decide to go for that. But right now, we're cutting back over to Alliance, who have got TE in their sights. They've hit Wash there with a grapple, I believe, as Alliance. They're just going to full send it. They need to get these kills. Otherwise, their game is done. YZZ losing a little bit of HP. Does have the zip healing. Going to juggle them around in the sky for a bit as Revenge gets a massive chunk of damage taken onto his health bar. Loses all of his armor, and now half of his health as well. He may just be finished up here. Able to secure that kill. TE making quick work of it, using the glider and everything. NY7 popped the ultimate, but I mean, they've already lost a player. This has gone really bad for them. Dash comes out. Yuma gonna get chased onto his Sandstorm. Cannot save him anymore from Wash. It's just gonna continue to dash through him. Yuma's health bar now exposed. No armor. Still dashes left open to Wash, and they're gonna make very quick work of these remaining stragglers of the Alliance roster. Yuma jumps back into the town to try and break away, but YZZ is hot on his heels, and TE keeping the pressure up. OUG actually just going to come. They smelt blood in the water, and the Sharks have collapsed. They got a bit of a turnaround here. Yuma still has that debuff, so he can cleanse himself potentially, but the glider comes out. There's going to be the ultimate burn. Waiting just to keep the pressure up onto him. Yuma, can he find this turnaround is the question. Hit in the sky. by SS, who is coming back down for the turnaround. Can he make it happen? Alliance are eliminated. SS able to get himself the kill. Does need to get away, though, because the King is being run down by multiple members of JDG, and doesn't look like he's actually going to be the one. Does have the ability to actually raise his team, though. He has the money, so if there's revives, he can go use them. But the King, I think he's just playing a waste their time kind of game. Because who's going to get the kill? That's going to be JDG.
JDG moves up to 5 kills. The F3 Viper nuking OUG's the King down. Has to be a noble sacrifice for his teammate to get out there. Try to find reses up to 20k right now. OUG's SS on the hottie. If you're trying to get reses, this is the character definitely to do it on. Your ultimate gives you a ton of mobility, and this is a great area to all these statues, giving you lots of line of sight to play with. But we rarely see in the league now teams being able to make it to these end games just because all of the placement multiplier has been removed. More teams are way more aggressive, trying to find these kills, isolate people out, and commit, just because unless you are stacked to find the win in endgame, you're most likely going to be weighed for how many kills you can get. Now we'll see if SS is able to pull off a miracle and find the reses going to zone. Now looking into the compositions going into this endgame, one thing that's very interesting is that because of the new phase system, we're no longer seeing just 1 or 2 compositions or 3 compositions. We're seeing a lot more variability, but we're mainly seeing the same 3 or 4 in every single endgame. So it's going to be interesting how the league starts solving this endgame situation. Now, Hottie, Kylan, Zipping has been winning a lot of these situations in endgame because, as you see, this terrain, no buildings, out wide in the open, a couple hills, couple cliffs. So going this last little bit, this Spirit Well is going to be a big decider of who is going to be set up pretty to take this first game.
It's going to be a hot contest as well, although Wolves actually pretty uncontested right now. They're just holding the Spirit Well down. They're about to pop it. Can a heist come off? We did see that happen last week. Wolves actually were the one to do it to KLA. Heist of the century. Still being contested somewhat, though. They're almost there. They're almost going to pop it. Here it goes. That's going to be the pop. Golden Armor picked up by Zen. Everybody collapses into the middle of the action. And Wolves, I think they just want to break away from this one. Get out of town as quick as possible. Looks like they're going to be able to break away with the zip healing. There it is, Wolves get themselves that Spirit Well. As do have ASE just layering down some peppering shots onto them on the way out, but nothing too major. That Spirit Well was fairly actionless, actually. I expected a hotter contest, but in the end, Wolves were just able to nestle control, and no one really wanted to go into them. They did just back off.
You mainly see the teams that didn't have a good early and middle game go in and salvage the loot of the very stacked team. We see Wolves, the most scaled team in the lobby, out for the location, set up to grab that gold armor. And once they grab that gold armor, they are dropping a free purple armor. So we saw teams like BBE, like T coming in, trying to scoop up that purple armor. We're seeing OUG's SS on a mission, trying to find his way towards this res. It looks like he did get his teammate up, but they did get picked off. The 80% Moonbane is going to be coming up. Kind of looks like an eyeball, but it forces all of these teams to the edge. And unless you have some good range, you're going to have to take the tier 2 locations as these teams with good cannon Jades force you to the side. 5-2-1 on the Zai, Matari, Kurumi. This is where I think Kurumi does a little bit better than Zipping in these end games because she can cleanse a lot of the burn damage. She can keep the tether on, provide that consistent sustained healing. Now going into this last little bit, 25 people alive, and this was exciting about this current meta. We're back to these stacked end games, not like the old 36 ones, but 24 is still a lot bigger than it was before. Usually we were seeing around 16 to 18. 24 is the new standard going into this last little bit. And now the Spirit Well will have the buff And it looks like, I can't tell. Can you see what buff is actually waiting, Hitbrain?
Not right now. I will let you know. It is a wolf buff because it's wolves in it. I have no idea. You're going to see a lot of teams move into the area and contest this one. Wolves stubbornly will want to pick it up. Zem holding the ultimate though, not willing to fully commit yet, as they are going to slowly get a bit of an advantage in. And people just back it off, giving it to Wolves again. I mean, they've got 2 members with golden armor. This could be 3 members with golden armor and whatever buff is inside. ASE do not want to be giving that one up, so they're going to jump in. That's going to be the ultimates committed there. I think Zem has to go for the hang glider to break away. It's going to try and heal up somewhat and drop down, but there's a whole heap of people collapsing in on this Spirit where Wolves are about to get it, though. It's so close to ticking over in their favor. Is there going to be a contest in the last moment? They pop the ultimate just to keep people away. It's almost done. Wolves are about to get their next one. That's going to be golden arm onto all of their members. They've got the white tigers and everything. Cloud going very, very low. This is the setup they had to win the last game of the bi-weekly. So they collapse in and get themselves a kill onto Cloud. Zen using that white tigers buff, just trying to put as much damage in as possible. His ult has reset as well off getting that soul well. And that is 2 soul wells back-to-back for Wolves. They've had a fantastic start to this game, and now that white tigers, they are feeling aggressive, trying to jump in onto EWG, forcing them with their backs to the zone. Instead, they're going to turn their attention towards One Feng, and he is just going to get popped. Once he pops, he's going to get that white tiger's frost as well. You know, a whole heap of damage. One Feng dashing away. They are going to commit the ult here from Zem, as he's just going to slowly work through these JL members one after the other. That's going to be a kill onto One Feng there for ZK. As Wolves got themselves 7 kills. There's 3 minutes left in this lobby, and Wolves, they're just keeping the aggression up. There's still plenty of dashes left onto Zem, as Corky next up in the lines of sights for them, as he is jumping into the middle of everyone. Is going to have to force to use the ultimate to keep himself alive. The tether's being used, but Corky going very low. Wolves, their ultimate has timed out, and that's actually EWG who get gifted with that kill. We see NiHQ jump up into the sky with the glider. Lots of teams on the low ground going very, very low in the middle of all of this action, but there's still 22 players left in the game. Sandstorm breaks out. That's going to try and zone Wolves away, but Ivan has been left isolated. Is going to jump away as we see Zem actually go in for the glider and break away from this one. JL taking out Water in the middle of all of this action, and now JDG able to cash in on a kill as well onto TXJ from JL. Wolves keeping that pressure up. They've still got over a minute left on this white tiger, so they want to keep that aggression going. They want to start to chain those pots together like we saw in the bi-weekly finals, as JDG able to take a kill onto Lemon. King gets himself a lockdown onto a couple of people there with the Viper, and everybody's collapsing in nice and close. There it is! The white tigers popped and ends the game.
We saw a little bit of resistance from the lobby. Wolves were looking for it. They did a wonderful rotation, keeping Kylan nice and healed up so he can go very, very aggressive with his slashes over and over. He was looking for a zone play to push the team into the zone to see if he can get the snowball going. Hottie did a good job of keeping the cube up, and you saw Wolves navigate through the thick and thin of every single team. The amount of sustain that the White Tiger buff provides for the team. What Game 2 brings for us today, Hitbrain?
Well, Wolves immediately getting in a fist fight here with Zone. That is actually going to be NiHQ having to make a break for it. The rest of Zone collapsing in. Can Wolves get the turnaround? They have picked up a sword now onto NiHQ. Do still have a numbers disadvantage, but the Kurumi has joined up. ZK, a little bit low HP. They're waiting to see if they can get the ambush off onto XLY. Scale Rush comes in. ZDI goes down immediately. Wolves able to quickly execute in with these kills. 2 kills for them. They're going to be looking for the third nice and easy, and that should just about be the end of it, as the slam comes in with the F, and they're trying to make the grapples connect. They're trying to keep the lockdown in. Wolves get themselves a quick 3-0. Very nicely played by them, and quickly cutting over now to DRG, ASE, and JDG. JDG obviously being on that Monk comp, being heavily focused out at the start of this one. DRG, very skirmish heavy. Lemon gets parried, gets immediately caught out, does a whole heap of damage, and parries back onto Corky, but ASE do come in for the defense on the moment, as there's the bell pop by our Monk. Keck now putting the pressure up onto WX98, who is going to look for a scale rush angle. Is going to be able to connect it, actually, securing a kill all for Lemon there onto Jing. Are DRG going to be able to keep this one going? They've got the dashes through. Now the pressure is up. Looking for potentially 2-tick, but so DRG are going to have to look to back off. Are ASE salty run backing it here? They might be.
Really, really risky to invest everything in a salty run back. Now, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of sodium content in your diet. So if it's viable, I'm all for the run back if it seems winnable. But DRG, Kakaxi on the hottie, Don Q on the zipping, just showing so much dominance off this spawn, taking down JDG, claiming this off-center POI for themselves. Winning this first one is huge, especially in Immortal War, because you get so much more money. Now to the north, EWG and 521 settling out their battle. It looks like Viper ult is going to be invested because Pampy just able to take down one of EWG's players. He's able to take down two. Is he going to get the reverse 3v1 going down? Cookie is going to get juggled, but the Wu Chen port is going to come out, grabbing his two teammates out of her. But like I was saying earlier before, a beacon up high, letting 521 know exactly where they are. And like we were saying before, the salty run back, if it's viable, it's all good to get in there to secure the win. Really, really risky unless you got Pampy on your team ready to hit you with the reverse 1v3.
Wolves once again find themselves in a fight. They actually do lose one player, make that two. OUG making quick work of them as now ZK trying to stay alive. Remember, this is Wolves fighting on their own Bane's Breath as they do get a massive hit onto Rico with that Bane's Breath. ZK being zoned away. He's actually going to look to try and revive his team, but he's not going to be able to get that touch in. Bane's Breath timing out in 25 seconds. This is going to have to be a miracle turnaround from ZK as he's hit by one of those slashes there from that fear and shove as ZK now just finds some space. Bane's Breath is almost going to hit onto SS. Now it's about to time out. Can he make that miracle happen? I don't think there's going to be a Bane's Breath that falls in his location. I don't think Wolves are going to find that turnaround. Last man standing. The Bane's Breath does connect onto Xinyu as he tries his hardest to survive. ZK now on the run, being hunted down by OUG, pops the belt, gets some information on where they all are, as now we're cutting over to TE, who are in a fight with Alliance.
Unlucky for OUG, the Moonbane just cosmetic, not doing anything for them. Now, Alliance, Zyult's going to be popped, Takeda ult's going to be matching. Can Siphon overcome the counter that everyone is saying that Zai is for them? And no, they cannot. The amount of damage coming out from that Matari flank and the fist blades, Zai sitting there consistently putting out those light attacks in the back with the Takeda. Really, really tough for Takeda to do what he wants. The shove is very, very oppressive, but with the stagger coming out, you just cannot position very well with a good Zai feeding at your back, knocking on you over and over. And with Zai having that support of the Matari for multiple F3s, we didn't get to see how the Temi ult goes down, usually one of the dictating factors of that matchup. But Zai still giving Siphon a run for its money. Now, normally in trios, we never really saw Zai in any single meta. This year, 2024, is the first time we've really seen Zai come out and be utilized well. And surprisingly, it's a Zai that doesn't have a gold F, doesn't have that combo break. It's a Meteor Zai. And normally we never saw Matari before either. The fact that Matari's ultimate is able to reset that meteor that Zai has, allowing her to dive in, do a ton of AoE damage, dive out if she gets engaged too hard, and have three of them allows their position one, their entry, their engager to do so much to create space. Now, we are reaching that transitional phase for the mid game where all the teams are setting up to go Yang. We're seeing 5-2-1 who landed for their one ISO fight, reset, level up their characters, getting those purple armors, getting those higher weapon rarities, setting up their heals so they can snowball outside that first Yang. It's really, really important to get your inventory straight going into that first Yang. A lot of these teams, a lot of these players have really, really good disengages. Their ability to run is second to none. And if you don't have grapples to keep up with them, it's very, very hard to secure kills when you have the buff and the advantage, or when you're coming out with Yang depletion, just having grapples going into that first Yang really makes or breaks a ton of these teams, and you have to take the time to set up properly going into these first Yangs.
Yeah, absolutely do. With them on the horizon, it's just a bit of a waiting game to see who is going to get their position set up for it. Looks like BBE very close to JL here. Maybe might see a bit of light action breaking out. In fact, JL closing in on BBE's location, but actually they are just going to back off. I think their attention is definitely towards that realm of Yang, so quite happy just to not fight here, not risk it. We can now see where those realm of Yangs are spawning up. Does look like JL are heading in the direction, but they're also going to be contesting 5-2-1 and potentially TE. The Bane's Breath thrown down all the way down over at Plumed, where there's a whole collection of teams meeting up, and the question is who is actually going to turn their attention towards these Rama Yangs? So it's like OUG will be getting their hands on their one. I think JDG quite happily going to go for this Spirit. Well, they will be contested by Zone though, so might see a little scrap, a little skirmish over that one.
Setting up this first Ramo Yang, we see BBE to the north, isolated, going for the safe route, but Wolves this time, because their off spawn didn't go as well as they planned, they're a lot more active now, looking to contest this first realm of Yang. A lot of opportunity for the first realm of Yang, and when you're behind, you don't have that good off spawn. Taking a calculated gambled risk in the first Yang is really, really optimal. You can take advantage of teams looking to other teams, but it looks like Wolves did end up going in versus Alliance, finding that blue reset. But we're going to first see OUG versus BBE. We're all in. OUG only has 2 kills to the name. They need to win this round. SS is going to be dropping down with the spear, looking to crowd control this Kylan, but BBE dialed in. Their Kylan just gets out of dodge, doesn't let the focus fire connect to them. F3 is going to be invested on the Kurumi, onto SS. No more defensive for him. Venom tips are coming down from Fat Milk, absolutely torching SS. SS has to be careful right now. He's down to his last little bit of health. Groomy Circle's gonna be able to cleanse him of that, pick him up, but he's down to very, very little whiteout now. Boyhihi is gonna get staggered by the spear. The Takeda's gonna come out, but Kylan ult is gonna be in response for Boyhihi. Can he come back and get some crowd control going? The Temi ult's gonna be coming out, and now BBE is gonna peel off, wait out this Temi ult before they re-engage. Nice heals coming out from BBE, and soon that Hadi ult will be coming online, but it looks like OUG's SS is going to activate, go on to the zipping. Nice target swap here, able to get the parry. Now switching back to the Kylan, and boy, he is going to get executed out of nowhere. The R&B of that gold spear doing so much damage. Now in a 2v3 situation, can BBE bring this back? Fat Milk under a ton of pressure. The light attacks, the focus attacks, just a constant barrage going at them, and the Hadi ult is going to come out too late. All BBE can hope to do now at 37 seconds to stall this out. Ivan can drag this to deeper waters. He has the movement capabilities. He has his cube up and a combo break. Can OUG cure this kill onto Ivan? He is going to get D-Mech sent to the ground. Cube's going to be coming out. Tries to make his way to the pillar, but the stagger's going to come out. Dumping LB from the spear, trying to get that stagger off. F3 is going to be invested. No more combo break to his name. Nice clank, but OUG, 2 experience, going to lock it down and find their victory for this first realm of Yang.
Yeah, very, very nice fight there from the side of OUG. Able to pick that one up, and honestly, SS piloted that fight really, really well on the Takeda. Got incredibly low, but never went down. His team did a fantastic job of bailing him out and went on for quite a while. Looks like Alliance beat Wolves inside their Ramayang, so Wolves definitely off to a more rough start in this game 2 of the day. JL, I can't remember who they were playing versus, but they were able to secure themselves a victory as well. They are now currently just going to use this Vermilion Bird's Might to search for fights, as EWG are in the local area. So we could see a scrap breaking out between these guys, as you're going to be wanting to basically take that riskless fight. Like, the worst case scenario is you get parried and you drop the katana. Other than that, you're not going to be giving up any kills. They've popped the bell, but I think the bell was already rung, so not going to have any idea if they jump through the portal. There we go. We found someone. Gonna get some damage onto Zorn. Zorn can't even get into the pop as he's just gonna jump away. RJL gonna continue to chase up. It looks like Wolves with this debuff on now, hunting DRG. Dong9 getting hit up by ZK first. Now HQ interrupted in the sky. They're actually keeping the pressure up. Great parry comes in. That's going to be the Zai F used. I don't think it actually landed though, unfortunately. They do a lot of damage to Nai HQ. He is just waiting for that next F to come up. Gets the reset from the Matari. Can he find the slam? Is able to jump forward. Doesn't actually use the F there. Does finally go down, but uses it to actually escape. Has still got his ultimate available. The armor's coming in. DRG able to find the turnaround. And Wolves, it has not been their game number 2. They are getting absolutely ruined here. DRG taking this fight very convincingly. Only one player left standing. ZK will go down to the Tick or to DRG as Wolves are eliminated.
Yeah, tough break for Wolves. All spawn doesn't go their way. In Yang doesn't go their way, and then even outside doesn't go their way. But it is going JL's way right now. TXJ is going to get really, really low and get taken down, but they do have a millions buff. All of this is extra credit. ASC doing a great job of fighting back now. EWG is going to be jumping in with the third party. Viper V1 going to be coming out. VVV taking a ton of damage. This 5-second stun is going to set them up. EWG rolling through with a nice timing attack, finding the kill onto the Yang, winning team 2. 2 Viper teams in the lobby, both of them up to 3 kills. X1 as well, looking around now. BBE and Alliance over at Metab, setting up for this next realm of Yang. BBE does have 1:20. Do you think they'll be able to cleanse their Yang depletion, Hiprain?
I mean, they're taking a fight versus Alliance, and Alliance are incredibly stacked right now after coming off that realm of Yang. But Roy Hehe doing a fair amount of work with that ultimate. Still has a couple of dashes left for them as well. Hit by the dual halberds. So burst heavy that weapon locks you down as well for that brief time. Doing a lot of damage to Revenge. Still, the dashes just never end on this character. Roy Hehe doesn't have any armor though, so they do need to be careful. Ult has finally timed out as now Alliance with those dual halberds keeping Roy Hehe locked down, keeping the pressure up onto him. There's the uppercut, and down he goes. There's your answer. No, they can't survive.
You were pointing out earlier, Hiprain, Alliance just doing super, super well, and they're going to keep up their momentum. Now, even though we put a lot of talk into Wolves with their massive game, they do fall. The lobby is very, very competitive. With this new point system, we're seeing a lot more of a flat range. 19, 14, 12, 8, 8, 8, 7. It's not a huge range of points because they're not getting a ton from that multiplier. Super, super competitive. And we're seeing all of these teams really come out of their shells, playing for these kills heavily, not just playing for a very, very safe endgame. And now we're going to see DRG versus OUG. With this Siphon, I can't really make out what DRG is. I'm hoping to see one of the Kylan. It is the Kylan composition versus Siphon. Noose comp versus the old tried and true. Can SS dominate and dictate the pace like he did before, Hiprain?
I don't know. Let's see if he's got it in him. Ultimate up and available, waiting it for the moment as does look like Rico gets a whole heap of damage off. There's the ult put, fear and shove onto WX98. SS comes in to try and see if he can save that one, but has got the ultimate for the Karumi to keep him going. WX98 gets the bot back once again, just into their own Karumi ultimate. Fear and shove, still one charge left. There's going to be the use of it. WX98 is just being focus fired, but he's doing a fantastic job of keeping himself going for the moment. Still got those dashes and that sustain available to him. SS now just trying to wait this one out, looking for the parry. Didn't quite make the mark on it. Has got himself that F available momentarily as he's getting himself jumped onto. A lot of damage thrown out. WX98, his ultimate has timed out as well. And now SS is keeping the pressure up onto him here with that golden staff. is getting Dong, locking him in place. The Wisp comes in to save the life of SS, who is very low. He's just trying to sustain, but he is getting hounded by the members of DRG. The turnaround comes in for his team as now he found that pressure, that opportunity. WX98 goes down in the middle of all of this. Is SS low HP over the shoulder? Kakaichi goes, and there's the save. OUG win the Realm of Yang.
Wow. SS does it again, Hipbrain. His buying of time right there at the end, he was bobbing, weaving, dodging. Really, he was down to his last hit, and he was able to buy at least 5 to 10 more seconds for Rico and Shinju to find that follow-up and secure the kill without that heroic rolls coming out from SS. For sure, an enemy team would be able to secure that kill, bring it down to 3v2, clutch it up, 2v1 their opponent. But because SS, with his dodging, is able to buy that time, we see OUG clutch up that second round. Now, Siphon up to 8 kills going into this endgame. They have to be happy going into this last little leg, especially if we see another White Tigers buff. Now, it is a little bit RNG. It's a 50-50 chance. It's either Mystic Might or White Tiger buff, but for sure, Sand Siphon definitely has one of the best chances to get it. Dotemi ult, creating that space, creating that wall, and the threat of Takeda to shove you away for that last little bit of slither to get that buff. Now, JL has their work cut out for them. They got 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, this season, we saw a little bit of change for the action to incentivize teams to go into Yang to give us that nice 3v3, because when you come out, you have this extended amount of time. Instead of that short 4 minutes, now you have like 5.5 minutes to find a team, possibly cure your Yang depletion. It's so long to the point where you technically could wait out the first Yang buff and have 2 minutes left to find a nice fresh fight. It looks like DRG is going to find JL on the skirmish. VVV flying up in the air, looking for the drop down flank. Actually is going to spot it out, space it out, and not get hit. Donkey on the zipping, avoiding the focus fire of the DPS. DRG doing a good job right now stabilizing this ambush coming out from JL. But JL, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. They have a lot of time to work with it. But unfortunately for them, X1 is going to be lurking on the outside. This 3v3 has become a multi-weight fight. Multiple teams descending upon this now. Alliance joining in the fray, Hipbrain.
Yeah, Alliance also jumping in. This has become a fourth party. Alliance don't even really need the kill. They're just wanting to put more points together on the board. But DRG, this is do or die for them. Grabbing it out here. JL also desperately trying to put those kills together. WX98 is getting focused down, is caught onto One Fang, being able to put some space between them, caught inside the zone as the rest of the team come in. Down they go. Lovely little kill there for the side of JL, being able to cleanse at least one member. Actually, it looks like they've cleansed 2 members, I think. So they're doing all right. It's going to be hard to put more kills together. I say that, and there's like still more people jumping into the mix. VVV feeling very comfortable right now as we are going to see another kill get picked up. X1, the one to pick it up. XLY, the one from X1 to get that one anyway. There's they're going to disengage, move off from this fight.
That's a little bit spicy. We're counting at least 4 or 5 teams here. No longer a third party, a fourth party. It's a festival out here. DRG showing up. Don Q, last man alive, fighting an ISO fight versus TXA, but TXA is going to take him for a ride. BBB is going to join in, bring this down to 2v1. Nothing Don Q can do. Nice stagger play coming out from JL to choke him out, but unfortunately for JL, they are going to lose Fog. They do have around 33k to the both of them. It's around 9 to 11k, depending on what your discount is, to find a res right now. JL has to make their way out, though. We know X1 is lurking on the outside on that Viper composition. They're looking to find any type of assassination on these compositions. Good thing for JL. They're working their way to the right, but they are spotted out by X1. BBB is going to have to make a run for it. Will TXJ try to peel for him on the TXJ on the hot? He has a little bit more options, but unfortunately for him, X1's gonna come in. They're gonna land the Tesla ult. Combo Break's gonna be invested. What can TXJ do in this situation? Another team, OUG in the background, is gonna light him up from the range, and TXJ will fall in a matter of seconds.
A lovely little pickup there for X1 and a denial onto JL. That is one player down. Another player just flat out. And it is all on the one player to get that revive off, but probably being hunted on multiple fronts. People will know that was just a single kill. So there may be a player or two left waiting around somewhere. So OUG, golden armor, golden weapons onto SS. So being absolutely fantastic in both the Realm Yangs we've seen and play this Takeda on. So see how well they can handle this end game. So you can see they're actually pretty kitted. Legendary Soul Jade, 2 purple ones. JL did get the rebirth charm off, so it's not over for them, but they have 7 minutes left to gear their group up now because they're going to have 2 players running around with grey armor and grey weapons. So this is going to be a tough ask for the side of JL.
Chip in the chair. As long as we're alive, we can get kills. You can't get kills when you're dead. Good job on VVV to get out of there, find the res inside zone. TXJ makes a noble sacrifice. It was a possibility that he could have gotten out there with the mobility of Hadi. Unfortunately, he's not able to get there, and this is what I kind of anticipated. OUG winning both Yangs, super scaled up. On the back of SS's Takeda play, they're going to be able to get another gold armor here, set themselves up pretty, but it looks like multiple teams dove in. It was stolen. SS was not able to get it. Multiple teams diving in, denying it, and now everyone just out of there. Now, in the previous game, we did see 24 live, not as many players making it to this end game. And the Viper team is having a lot more success on Holoroth, finding the assassinations early before these sand siphons are able to scale up, get all their weapon slots set up, get that gold ultimate on Takeda online. They're getting wiped out a little bit early, and there's only 2 Vipers in the lobby. This just goes to show how important the lobby's end games ends up being shaped out by these early and middle game strategies. We're not ASC. Previous games, they haven't had as much momentum, and it looks like they were the team that got in there and yoinked that gold armor. Water is a bandit.
Does it look like SS? Just playing a bit of a zoning game on the low ground. JDG are out, aren't they? So there's no monks left in the lobby because they were the monk comp. They lost their drops, their fight on spawn.
Just haven't seen any successful monks. They can't make it.
I think the meta's too skirmish heavy. I just think the meta's way too skirmish heavy for monk to succeed. Way too many comps run a lot of CC as well and a lot of mobility, like you said. I think it's just very hard to pull monk off. I don't think the character's like in a bad spot. I just think a lot of other characters are in better spots right now.
I think it's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I think that is pretty fair. The Bane's Breath coming down in the middle of the map as we do actually see JL. One thing, I mean, JL fresh off their respawns are pretty undergeared right now, so should be an easy pick, and that is going to cost them heavily off the back of that one.
Good job on EWG finding the pick off, and like you were saying, yeah, Brain, the skirmish heavy, the hit and run, the amount of mobility that Hadi provides for these team compositions to go in and out. And we saw phase 3 having a ton of Hadis everywhere. Now, Hadi, even though they're able to hit a run, they don't pack as much as a punch as the Takeda composition. We're seeing OUG's SS finding that pick off on TXJ again. JL not able to get their foot in the door to get that momentum, but VVV is going to live to fight another day on that Kylan, sit in that bush with 19 people left alive. It's going to be tough work for him, given that actually this terrain does favor solos and duos. There's a lot of buildings, overhangs to consistently scale rush. ASC lurking on the outside. It looks like Alliance holding the left side of zone. TE taking the rocks to the right. X1 on their Viper comp, hidden running really well. They're already up to 3 purple armors going into this last little leg of the game. 4 minutes left. Can OUG secure this win? They're sitting pretty with their loot at 9 kills, but Alliance is also doing super well at 13 kills.
Yeah, looks like X1 will be getting this kill on to the final member of JL. VVV goes down. Fortunately for the side of JL, has been a pretty rough game for them. They've kind of been, ever since they lost Naraka Yang, on a significant back foot. But Alliance, this could just be their game to pop off. Holding fast for the moment. Big thing to note, no white tigers in this final circle. So we'll actually have a true final circle while everyone doesn't get nuked from a single kill. It is going to get very explosive any moment now as OUG is playing this low ground. Waiting for teams to drop into them as pretty set up right now. I'm just going to go for the weapon repair, get himself set up as possible as we really are in Buccaneer phase from this high ground. The Castle Defenders Alliance shooting cannons onto everyone trying to siege from either side of the wall.
Yeah, Alliance holding this top left. They do have multiple cannons. They want to find this win here at 13 kills, getting that multiplier at 1.2. And getting the 3 extra placement points would be massive. Basically setting up for their day. Around 30 to 40 points is good for one day. Usually qualifying is around 75 to 80 points total. So if they're able to get this win here, Alliance will have no pressure, be able to limit tests on the rest of the days, and you always play a little bit better once the pressure is off. But as this zone closes in, the chokehold on the lobby, the pressure starts cranking up for these players to make plays. Now, there are multiple levels on this wall. There's an inside room where you see EWG, Cookie, and Zwan holding it up. On the high ground, though, with the most amount of vision, we see Alliance and TE duking it out. OUG's posting up somewhere in the middle, ready to take advantage of everyone falling down. But it looks like ASC is going to be making a play onto OUG first, but still, zone is going to be closing in. A lot of the times in these end games, we see this go the distance, going to heal off where 2 teams normally tie. We'll have to see if that's going to come out this time. No white tiger buff, just a nice, good old-fashioned end game.
Yeah, this is the classic Naraka endgame here. Couple of teams, though, inside, couple of teams outside, so it's going to be very hard to track, actually, how these fights are going to go down. We do see a Tessa ultimate and a return Tessa ultimate get fired out from inside. That's a Viper from X1. ZDI able to find the lockdown onto EWG, securing themselves a kill with the fans there for LYD. Viper ultimate actually will make its connection onto Corky and Water. Corky inside the zone, so they're actually going to lose a fair amount of HP. Are able to dash back into the middle of everything as OUG actually dropping down to see if they can get a punish onto these ASE members. Deciding to cool off, head back onto the scaffolding on the outside of the wall and just play from that high ground position as OUG still very, very kitted up. But this is Alliance. You want to keep your eyes on holding the high ground. Tessa ultimate was thrown down, not at them. I believe that was the X1 there from TE. Is that Alliance there? Just looking to jump into this fight now. They find a big chunk of damage off onto one player. OUG involved in that one. That's going to be AFC's Corky taking down X1's XLY SS. Holding a scale rush angle, can't actually find it. Alliance Revenge loses a lot of health already. Has been able to take out Cookie, though. They're getting jumped into. Yuma being forced off onto the outside of the zone is going to lose a lot of HP there. LYD going low as Alliance slide through and secured the kill. Yuma's doing a whole lot of work here. Sandstorm's thrown down in the middle of everything as well. It is hairy as this zone closes on the wall. Everyone's going to be forced off as Alliance are picking up kills left, right, and center. They're up to 17. It is a pop-off performance. Revenge taking down people left, right, and center. As Alliance, they're looking for the 20 bomb. They should just be able to get it. It's them versus Water. They do go down, but Alliance, last team to get that one. Beautiful kill.
Really, really smart player from Alliance, holding that ultimate height. They're able to secure all the kills as everyone desperately tries to climb up, trying to avoid the suffocation of the zone. Unfortunately, they have to make their way through the 2 most scaled teams, OUG and Alliance. You see at the last second on the mid ground, OUG tries to make a play for the high ground. The defender's advantage goes to Alliance, and not only do they have the defender's advantage, they go full offensive. They know it's most likely going to go to a tie PL of Monk, Takeda, Kurumi going into a mirror match. So I'm hoping to see that going into the first game. But first, we got the cave in the north. Wolves versus, I believe this is DRG. Normally GG's in this cave. Always claiming this for the last 3 years, but when GG is not here, Wolves is out here to play. XCM, they did get the B1 off on the zipping. No weapons on half the team, and Wolves is going to get a parry right now. DRG fallen victim to the mushroom. and the team play of Wolves, and they're going to keep dominating like they have been off spawn.
Zen was just baiting there as well. He had no weapons, so he kind of baited them into the fight. And yeah, that worked out beautifully for them. Alliance finds himself in a fight versus JL here. JL pinned up against the wall, losing a fair amount of HP. They've already lost one Feng. Yuma trying to find that opening. There's going to be the charm from the Tessa. VVV cannot escape this little heart as they are just hounded down by Alliance. And solid start over to both Alliance and Wolves, the two teams you were highlighting at the beginning of the day. And already see that JDG, ASE, is that all of our Monk teams on no, X1 are the only one of our Monk teams who haven't used their revives already. So already a pretty rough start. Like we said, this is the weakness of the Monk comps right now. It's not a bad pick. It's just there's so many good skirmishing comps available. So many answers. There's OUG getting themselves in a fight here versus 5-2-1. Lovely little parry dig land onto two players there as Cloud is still getting themselves Zinu'd against the wall. Low HP taken out by the fans there as SS making that work for them. OUG just consistently good. If it's them in an isolated fight versus another team, they typically win it. They're very, very good at 1v1 team fights.
Yeah, like you're saying, Hipraim, OUG dictating the pace. And normally you see Yodos and other position ones only use their combo break for themselves. And we see SS there command the space, putting down his F3, not allowing the enemy team to respond. The F3 just has this active hitbox that every time you throw an attack, it just clanks everything. Now, it does make him a little bit more vulnerable, but it sets his teammates up for success. And this is something that veteran players do, and something we don't really see as much because Yodo has been out of the meta for a really, really long time. She was a little bit more prevalent with Cannonball, but she was quickly replaced by Hadi and Valda pretty much a few weeks after its creation. And now we're seeing a new rise of it with the old Attack on Titan. I'm still curious to see how this Yodo gets value versus these very mobile compositions. Now, Hadi, Kylan, very, very mobile characters. Zipping, also way more mobile than even Kurumi. She doesn't have to sit there and tank. Her ultimate can cover all of her teammates from any direction. She doesn't have to be next to her DPS in order to get that heal off. So it allows her to play a little bit further, a little bit more movement, getting away from teams. So how does a Yodo connect to these teams? Now, something that's interesting that still hasn't been figured out in the league is where Viper falls with her abilities. We saw a rise of F3 anti-heal V3 with the giant AoE silence, but we're seeing a new rise of F2 silence and the long 5-second stun V1. No one has really settled in. There's not a standard in the league. There's still everything up in the air. Everyone's looking for an advantage with the new rule set and the new kill heavy style. We're seeing Alliance Wolves finally come out of the shell. They were very, very defensive teams before. Now, peppering in some offense, we're seeing them wake up a lot more. Now we're going to get BBE versus Wolves. XCM leading the charge. Jumping in. And we saw this before. Wolves did have a Moonbane off spawn. They're going to do it again. OUG didn't beat them last time. BB is going to go on a defensive, and this is the strength of the Moonbane. It's not necessarily getting the hits, but it's these free hits that you get when a team fades out. But good job by BBE to be able to cover and move, lay down the covering fire, and get a ton of damage onto Wolves on their way in. But XEM doesn't want to take his foot off the gas. He's going to come flying in before he with the parry. Kurumi ult is going to come out from BBE. Nice disengage coming out from Wolves. They don't want to fight in that Kurumi circle. Big parry going to be coming out from NHQ, and now XEM is going to activate, popping his ultimate. The car crash is coming through. Everyone's getting juggled by BBE. Roy Hehe on the Zai, diving back in, trying to create some space for his teammates. Sits on the outside, gets a little bit of CC onto XEM, but what can you do with these slashes coming out at lightning speed? XEM blitzing down BBE. BBE, no more defensive cooldowns to their names, and it looks like TE is going to be joining the party.
Yeah, this is also Alliance coming in as well. Wolves are getting turned on to TE. What a third party from them. A massive denial onto Wolves, and Wolves, they're just too slow to the punch. They completely fumble the play, and that is another kill over to Alliance, who are looking to overtake them totally in the scoreboard off the back of that one. Wolves going to have to go for a reset. I believe they kept their zip alive, so they will have one player who is going to retain their gear at the end of this. But I don't know if T are hunting them or just escaping Alliance here. They did also burn a fair amount. That's got to be a real kind of like get to you moment for Wolves, because they were just on the cusp of winning that fight, and then the kill stolen away, and then they lose 2 players. That is definitely something that is going to kind of really eat at you when that happens.
Yeah, it's just so volatile with how aggressive teams are. That's why you see all the maps layouts, the hunting paths being so dialed in. It looks like Alliance is going to spawn out TE. They saw them in this fight earlier, so they might have a read of what their ults are be looking like. Alliance, NY7 on the Viper has the Dragon Roar, but there's no ult zone right now. TE knows this. They're going to try to take advantage of it. Good job by NY7 to fade out using the LMB focus attack, but he's going to get parried by Wash. Kurumi, Battle Kurumi coming in. NY7 trying to survive the situation, but it looks like TE has the advantage right now, and JDG is going to be closing in the distance, seeing the no ult zone from the distance. Wuchenport is going to come out, and Alliance is going to try to stabilize right now, but DRG wants to come in, and this is a tough part of playing that Viper composition on Morris. The Mataris do come out, and they do hard counter that Viper comp. They are going to make their way to Eventide to see if they can kite this out, but Don Q and Kakaxi and WX are hot on their heels. They do make them their way into the building. It looks like Wolves is going to be resetting here as well. Zyol is going to be invested. What can you do versus the Zyol? Nice assault from Yoma. Can he create some space for his team? Don Q is going to just lay down the pressure, smothering Yoma, but he's going to make it out with 1 HP. Now, Don Q is going to go back to the rest of the demons, and 7 is going to fall. Revenge, it will fall shortly. Wolves on the outside, though. Will they opt to come in? And for the third part, it looks like they're just going to recover, and Alliance will fall to DRG.
Nice little third party there from DRG, a team who I honestly kind of underestimated a little bit going forwards. I thought they were a bit of a free win team, but right now, on a very, very solid showing in this game, getting those 4 kills off the back of that third party. And Alliance fall victim to the same trap they just laid on Wolves, getting themselves caught out. But ultimately, that does mean that they are going to be behind on item scaling and are probably not going to be able to jump into a Ramayang. So far, BB and X1 have got their hands on one. It's ASE and EWG is our final one. We're going to follow JL versus JDG. BVV, ultimate ready to go. Just that aerial phase where everyone's trying to stay up as high as possible for the moment. Get some pot shots off the high ground. Not going to be able to find that opportunity as BVV waiting for a good opportunity to jump into that fight. Immediately takes a massive chunk of damage. Is going to pop the ultimate is his answer to that. Gets one dash through a single player there as we see Zing transform. Is going to try and look for the slam down. Isn't going to make himself a hit, unfortunately. And the Kurumi ultimate burnt before he comes out of Monk actually is a little bit interesting. Does mean that he's not going to have that kind of defensive utility when he jumps out. Is able to get himself a grab though. Looking for the slam. Isn't going to get it. It's just going to get the punch off mid-air. Tries to catch out of the glider mid-air. Not going to be able to really get it. And this is that mobility we were talking about. Jing, now out of Monk form, is very exposed. Is immediately just going to get hounded. They did wait out VVV's ultimate most crucially though, but JDG, this is a rough fight for them. VVV gets the hang glider to break off. Is parried mid-air. Just to catch his breath in the middle of the fight. Re-spears up JDG though. This is going to go very rough for them off the back of this one. 2 players down already. JL just looking to finish this one up. Wait, sorry, it's JL who are in the bad position. It's a 1-for-1 so far. VVV's putting some damage in onto 2-tick, but with no Monk, this is going to definitely be a harder one for them. So it's all on 2-tick to try and make the turnaround play. As Keck going very low. They're just trying to finalize them off here. But JL putting the pressure up. 2-tick finally goes down. And this should just be the end. JL able to secure the Roma Yang.
We did get to see the Moncom inside Yang. They are going to fall between the 2 champions, TXJ and VVV, in the 2v2 clutch. It comes down to the wire, but just that 4th ultimate coming out from Hadi. The fact that he's able to ult early, put the cube down so everyone on his team has a nice combo break. He's at 60% ult. He's able to fight and extend it. And that's what I was saying earlier, Hipbrain, that it really comes down to whether or not a team with the Monk is able to lock someone down. Now, both Hadi and Kylan does have a combo break, but a unique thing to VVV is he actually plays Kylan without the combo break. He plays with an offensive opener that he's able to grab you if you're not holding focus attack and set you up for his teammates to focus attack you by throwing you up in the air. Now, he is one of the only players doing it right now, and something that I've kept an eye on to see whether or not the rest of the league might switch over. They were one of the first teams to run Cannonball, where traditionally Yueshan always ran combo break, and because of them, everyone started exploring not running combo break anymore. So JL able to find that kill, and we're seeing all the Monk teams did fall, Hipbrain. And this is what I was wondering. Everyone on the CN side, all three coaches that I've spoken to said that Monk, Takeda, Kurumi is the strongest Yang team. I've yet to see them win, though.
I think there's just too much mobility. There's too much mobility, too much CC, and unfortunately, natural selection is going to play a part in here because some of these teams are going to be going down, and I worry for the Monk teams. I really do, because the problem with Monk is it's very slow. And like you said, you do have more time now. They did change the Roma Yang debuff, but you still are a relatively slow-moving team. I suppose it's not like the Yueshan version of the comps that's not as slow-moving, but even so, they're going to be looking to res in the middle of all of this action. I think they're waiting out the opportunity to get those revives off, as we're going to see DVV just doing a whole heap of damage here. I think the revives will be coming in fairly soon as, oh my word, JL just melting through those health bars. Still plenty of dashes left available to them. Are going to time out on the ultimate. There is a heap of teams in the area. 2 minutes left on these Roma Yang debuffs. We've seen the BBE have been actually able to cleanse their Zai. They've been able to secure at least one thing here. Roy He doing a fair amount of work as BBE gets a lovely little pin down. That's going to be a second cleanse for them. So they're almost fully out of the work. JDG have been able to cleanse their Monkers. Now they're looking for a fight versus BBE. Can BBE's Fat Milk break away, or are they just going to be giving up another one? The healing's coming in. Fat Milk is just locked down. They're unable to move. JL may come in to try and slide in for the third party. It does look like Fat Milk was able to break away from JDG. Remember, they've only got one player cleansed right now. Actually, two players cleansed right now. I don't know where they got that second one from, but they're able to break away. Massive fights breaking out across the map.
Good job by JDG and BBE. They spot out JL, a red buff team. Now, normally, the team that wins is super scaled up. You don't want to attack them, but both of those teams wait for JL to use all their ultimates, and they come in with a lovely third party. Now, on the other end, no ult zone, going to be hit by X1. And this is one of the viable strategies that if you go out there and you invest your ultimates aggressively in this mid game, as long as there's a no ult zone nearby, you're able to go into it and slow down everyone else. Now, X1 does have Yang depletion. It looks like they're going to be switching off the money to set up for someone else to get a res as one of them falls. But OUG is going to be showing up. And this team, the Attack on Titan, is looking to get in there. They're looking to get active and find these teams fighting. It looks like Alliance was able to find some cleanse on finding JDG's Kiki off on his own. And they do not have enough to res, but they're very close to it, around 7k. It looks like BB is going to be buying the first rebirth charm. There is a limited amount of rebirth charms, so the speed of you going for this rest is important transitioning into this middle game. It looks like Yoma is going to be running into TE, cutting across, and it looks like both these teams are going to be setting up for Spirit Well. Now, this is one of the options that we normally don't see. We usually see the Realm of Yang highlights, but there is always a Spirit Wall that goes down where the Viper teams and usually the Matari teams end up skirmishing. So we're going to catch TE versus Alliance going out, and immediately NY7 is going to find a kill onto TE's Wash on the Spirit Well. TE's going to have to give this up, lick their wounds, and find another way around this, but 5-2-1 with the distraction coming in hot, but the carry is going to be coming out from Yoma. 5-2-1 is going to eat a Tessa ult, and Alliance is going to give up the Spirit Well. Have to live to fight another day.
We are JL going up versus DRG inside the Roma Yang in that normal aerial phase for the moment. Waiting for the opportunity to get themselves into the fight. BBB actually doesn't have ultimate. They've got 5%, 4% left on that one, so gonna have to wait that one out for a brief second. Gonna be using the Swarm as their off weapon. I don't think I've seen a Swarm inside of a Royang for a long time, if at all. As there's VVV's ultimate. Able to dash through, get some damage onto Dongqing. Slowly but surely whittling away at those health bars. A lot of sustain on this character, so it always looks dicey, but they always heal it back up. And there we go, immediately opening up the 1 kill. BBV gets the dash through 2 members as well. Gets another dash through 2 members. He is just consistently getting these dashes through multiple people, really doing some serious work here. Gets the grab down. That is actually the area, the variant of the is that the F1? I can't remember. We'll go back to that conversation. F2, sorry. Gets himself the F2 down. Gets the ability to really lock people in place and secure that kill as DRG, WX98, the last man standing. JL gonna make very, very quick work of them and secure themselves this Roma Yang.
That was the point I brought up earlier, that normally Kylan, very, very durable, has a really, really good combo break. When he pops his F1, if you hit him, he does knock you down. He can also do it while he's staggered. Now, the F2, you don't get that combo break, but you get that situation right there that you saw where he chokes you and throws you into the air. This sets up for his teammates to find a focus stack. You can find a focus stack yourself. And BBB is literally the only Kylan in the lobby who runs this. So I'm curious to see how he uses it more and more. But first, we're going to see 5-2-1 with the purple armor on the Pampy, leading the charge. Absolutely deleting LYD. Now, LYD was part of the TE team that did win Worlds. Now, going over to JL, the champs themselves as well. VVV and TXJ finding X1 and XLY. They did go with the Mystic Might buff for their second buff, and they aggressively hunted this team down, finding the double charge, and TXJ with the Hottie couldn't secure the kill. Now, normally we see this team, Hottie, go down, pop their cube, but it looks like now when JL goes hunting after the second Yang, they're going to lead with that Hottie ult instead of VVV leading the charge. Interesting stuff and adjustment coming out from JL. And this is the type of mid-maxing that I've been really, really looking for as this meta progresses. It's all these subtle differences that make a huge difference as we lead up to Worlds.
Oh, we have now seen 2 of the Monk teams get taken out. There is X1 that's technically still in it. They've just got only the Kurumi left, and I don't know how much money they've got as JDG. Very smartly decided not to go into that Roma Yang. We are seeing, though, DRG getting run down here by EWG. The Kurumi ult is going to get broken out here from Dongqing just to keep them alive for a little bit longer. Going to see some healing breaking out as well off the back of this one. Dongqing very, very low. Really wants to get out of this, out of the zone, but the fight is just not letting up, and that's going to be the end of Dongqing. They go down. The EWG secure that kill as DRG, they didn't even want to make a break for it. They just ran. They just stayed in the zone as long as possible, and I think this might just be the end of DRG. EWG able to secure that kill. Was that a ballista shot? I don't think it was. I saw an explosion. I don't think it was.
Twin shot cannon, so there's a lot of explosions going down.
That'd be why.
Now, it looks like Wolves was able to claim the Draco Storm. I'm not sure if they're challenged or they just went for it. It looks like XEM did pop his ultimate already earlier, and Draco Storm, one of the most oppressive buffs, really, really hard to lose. I've never seen a Draco's team ever lose except from double grabs. And JDG, it looks like they did pick up their teammates. Remember, every single Monk team did fall earlier. They're going to find EWG's cookie, try to run away on the Kurumi, but the jumping LBs from Singh is going to close it out. Super hard to run away from the jumping spear. EWG on the zone moving in. We did see EWG fighting out there earlier. Zai loves fighting in the zone because of the burn damage and the threat of it, but unfortunately for them, they are going to get caught out by JDG on their way in. They see the health of the Zai. They're putting a ton of pressure on. And Wolves is also going to be jumping in with the Draco Storm. And it looks like JDG is going to give them up. Seeing Wolves with Draco Storm, they're going to alpha those kills. And it looks like BBE as well going to force some out with that third party. Looking at the scoreboards right now, Wolves going to be at 8, leading the lobby still, but Alliance at 6, EWG with 10, and so many kills all around the lobby. OUG with 7, JDG with 7, JL with 7, and BBE. Just kills everywhere. Everyone is getting very, very aggressive. off spawn and transitioning to this mid game. So much action going down. Can Wolves have a solid third game? We did see them fall earlier, game 2. Third game, it looks like they're fired up again and staying consistent.
Yeah, I don't think they let that game 2 get to their heads. I think they just accepted they made a mistake and they paid the price, jumping back into this one. But again, there's still plenty of teams capable of contesting them, but they are looking to get a couple of kills. EWG getting very, very low there. Zen with the golden fan able to output some serious hurt. I mean, if someone hits that water wheel, they're going to have a great time. Oh. There it is. Someone hit the water wheel. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. Looks like we are going to see JDG's 2-tick jump into the face of Wolves. They're just going to back off. And there's still 8 minutes left in this game. It is very, very aggro here for our third game of the day.
Multiple teams just coming in from the zone. And everyone looks to be settling out, realizing they did get to stabilize. Good job from JDG coming in from zone. And EWG gets picked apart. They're able to stabilize. And now looking at the scores, 15.5, 16.5, 21. It's still very, very close. And this is something I noticed even during the weekly finals, is the points were very, very close. We had 5 teams going to that match points, with 6 and 7 being right on the cusp. So not as heavily stacked forward. I don't believe the meta is fully flushed out yet. There's a little bit of edge by a couple teams, but not a big edge. Now, the Spirit Ball's going to be coming out, no buff to it, just the armor. And 521 with their Hottie, who have blue armor, are trying to scale up, but unfortunately for them, they're going to be challenged by the double gold armor of JL. TXJ leading the charge, forcing them out. They have nice cannon shots. 521 gives up the realm. Now, the dome does protect against projectiles. You have to commit inside a dome if you want to get range shots off. Now, with JDG coming in on the Monk and Takeda, Wolves are surrounded on all sides. But we've seen them over and over when they've gotten to this position. These guys have specialized in securing this loot and fighting this multi-way. Now, we're seeing Aurora Burst on their zipping. They're going to be isolating us out. TXJ on the Hottie gets punished for poking in, but JDG's Monk, Shin, threatening the Dragon Slayer, but Wolves is on phase. They do not care. They're going to get this loot again, and they're going to try to make their way out of here. Will they be punished for this? BBE coming in with the cannon shots, but it looks like, again, Wolves with a very, very clean play, able to scale up even further, getting ahead of this lobby.
I mean, how do you push into the Aurora Burst? It's so hard to push into that one. So Wolves able to secure that. And again, this is the Wolves playbook. They are typically a very aggressive team, but when it comes to late game, they play for these Spirit Wells every time. Very consistent play from them. They're able to secure that one. And I believe we still have one more Spirit Well to come as well. So keep your eyes on that one. It could be the full golden armor White Tiger pop once again. The classic Wolves at this point. There's 6 minutes left on the lobby. 21 players left in the game. 7 teams. It's just a bit of a waiting game now. Bane's Breath comes in, slams down into the middle of the map, and for another 40 seconds, teams are probably just going to avoid standing in the middle. This is pretty typical what we do see. JL also very geared up. They've had a fantastic start to this game. Golden armor on multiple players, golden weapons as well. Onto VVV with the golden halberds. Wolves just exchanging some cannon fire with BBE. Nothing too committal. See, that is a dead center Bane's Breath as well. But the Spirit Well spawning up, and Wolves are actually on the wrong side of the circle if they want to contest it. They do have Alliance at their back. They look to try and rotate around towards it. They're going to actually surf through the middle of the Bane's Breath towards the Spirit Well. You know they want to get this one. This is the White Tigers as well, so this is an absolute must for these teams. Aurora Burst coming out. Spirit Well will be spawning up any second. Now Wolves immediately taking a whole heap of damage, though, as they are desperately trying to hold this position, but the cannon fire totally shutting them down. They're a little bit too early to the punch, and that may just cost them the Spirit Well here. They lost way too much armor to the shots. JDG are the ones who are pushing in on this circle. Wolves not letting up yet.
Oh, we're seeing the Monk comp. Is this where the Montcalm shines? They're able to get in this dome. Now, remember, the dome prevents all the range attacks from coming in. He's going to scoop up TXJ for fiddling a little bit too close to the Monk, flying around on the hottie, trying to find the opening right now, but Xing is going to get focus fired right now. And Wolves makes their move back with the Aurora Burst jumping into the middle, but it doesn't look the lobby's going to give it them for free. OUG's going to come in and contest with the F3 on the Yodo, blistering on SS, throwing them out over and over. He is going to get knocked down by the Kylan on, and now JL is going to be jumping back in. No one's going to just give this up for free, but Wolves with the Aurora Burst, with the massive amount of zoning from that Aurora Burst, putting out the silence, putting out that hitbox for he's going to be coming in, doesn't want to give that up as well. Zai able to take priority over it. Now Zem is going to pop his ultimate, slam through, try to clear it out. BBE is making a play for this. They're going to invest everything. They're all in. Kurumi ult is going to be to the center. Can Wolves hold on to it? Hottie is going to pop the cube, trying to give them that opening, but again, OUG's going to make their way in with the F3. Kylan ult's going to be dashing through. SS is going to get juggled down, and then Alliance is going to come in with their Viper ult. They're going to try to secure the buff. They're not able to. They're going for the kills instead. There is no time invested onto it still. JDG is holding the center now. The Monk composition. We're playing musical chairs for the Spirit Well. BBE still on the outside. Oh! Cannon shots, and now Wolves is coming back in for it. Can they make it in, Hiprain?
The Aurora Burst, the wind spout is so big here for Wolves. They're desperately trying to force JDG off. No one wants the Monk comp to get the gear. They're able to actually take down Keck. OUG the ones to secure it. ZK losing a lot of HP. There's the Aurora Burst once again coming out. I believe it was interrupted this time, so they don't get it down. Aurora Burst coming out from Zen into the wind spout. What a wombo combo from Wolves. They're desperately trying to hold this position. There is no shield. There is no defense anymore. This bubble is gone. OUG pushing forward. NiHQ goes down in the middle of the fight, so Wolves are down a player. OUG may have just done what they needed to secure this Spirit Well. They are fighting their hearts out for it, securing the kills, but nobody is willing to give this one up. OUG are going to stand onto that point, but they're going to get hit by the Zai, the burst, the damage. OUG are wiped by Fat Milk. That was beautiful. 1 versus 3. Now we're seeing Wolves with that wind spout putting out some serious damage. Just 5-2-1 go down. Alliance are just house sitting. They don't even care about the zone anymore. Somewhere out of nowhere, BBE just popped off in the last couple of moments. ZK, the last man standing, no, the second to last man standing for Wolves, on the focus fire here from BBE. He has been able to buy himself a bit of space and break away from this one. 1 minute 30 left on the zone. There's going to be the Kurumi ultimate thrown down in the middle of this zone. Revenge gets caught out by the grapple in the mid-air for the moment. ZK has been able to get a pretty decent reset off. Windspout still available to them as Rohihi going to stand on that Kurumi ultimate, top that armor up, and just fire those cannon shots out. It was an absolutely flawless play from them to secure that kill for the team and stop the Spirit Well from going down. Yuma will fall to Rohihi's cannon in the middle of all of this one. Can they keep this game going? For now, BBE have 12 kills. Wolves have 13. Ibin hit by that windspout once again here from ZK. He tries to charge another one up, but it's interrupted mid-shot. It is all on him. He is just throwing them out left, right, and center. You can see the zoning from the Zai ultimate doing so much work to ZK. He's inside the building. He's just trying to hold, but there is a Widow's Wail coming in. So much damage coming down. ZK goes down. BBE, last team standing. Actually, there's 7 players left. Where are they? Oh, they're all in the sky. Just leaving them alone. Zem, the last player to look for that hero play on to the members of BBE. He's still got the ability to turn this game around for his team. Fat Milk's able to take down Revenge, and now it's all about those hero plays. I've been low HP in the middle of all of this as JDG. Xing is actually going to transform in the middle of the fight. The Wolves are eliminated. I don't think they can make this work as down they go. I think that was a BBE victory.
Yeah, BB comes in huge. And this is what I thought the lobby needed to do. Everyone needed to be calculated and make sure that White Tiger's buff didn't just go to anyone. And now it's pretty much revealed exactly why.
I was wrong, by the way. It's Horror, not Pedoria. I got my maps modeled up a little bit there, but doesn't matter. We are now into the game. This is the very risky one from the members of Wolves. They spent all of their hero points on this one game, so they need to make it work now. JDG finding themselves in a fight. There's the zip stun. Isn't going to connect on to Jing. Able to break away from that one as JDG going to glide their way forward to close that gap, but already they've lost a player as now they're just getting run down here by EWG with that man advantage. The no ult zone even popped just to continue their advantage. There's going to be the lockdown potentially coming in as EWG able to secure that one. It's the power of the amount of crowd control that this comp runs.
They're going to be third party by DRG with the V1. Massive play coming out of there, knowing that X1 doesn't have the Witch Import to get out of there. And they're just going to quickly clear it out. Now, there was a no ult zone right next to them that they could have popped, but DRG, just too sneaky, comes out of nowhere with the V1 ult. Nice job from them to recognize which ults were available. They're not going all the way to north. Imperium BBE versus Wolves. Both these teams doing well today, led by Roy Hehe on his Zai. Hit a dominant end game performance, and now ASC is going to be jumping in, and it looks like BBE is going to call the disengage. Unfortunately for Wolves, they're left to ASC to pick off right now. There is a giant tree for them to kite off to try to keep his weapon, what little he has, but ASC is going to be hot on their heels for NHQ. It looks like because of the cube, though, Wolves are able to find some space here, get onto the high ground. Can XCM find an opening here? He does lead with a parry, gets Corky down to really, really low. Now, in a 1v3 situation, XCM against the ropes, against the wall. Can he find the hit? F3 is going to be coming out. ASC is going to clear it out. And it looks like Wolves is going to take the reset and try to set up for Yang.
Well, they managed to keep one player alive. But yeah, that is rough for Wolves. They, remember, invested 9 points into this game. They have no more points for the rest of the day to work with. Very, very costly mistake at the beginning. And they didn't even get a single kill. So that was a rough start to this game for them. They still have 1 rebirth, so if somehow they do get squad wiped again, it's going to kind of come down to the rebirth charms and if they can afford them. At the moment, JL themselves in a fight here versus TE. Wash throws down the charm, has got that urn charged up, so has been touched by VVV though, so they will break out from that one. One Feng will get hit though, and the follow-up should come in any second now, though they are able to break away. JL winning this fight very convincingly versus TE. It's been a pretty sad start for this team as Wash desperately trying to break away from the members of JL, but they're hit there by the F. That's enough to secure the kill. We'll get that one now. Cutting over to all the action with 521 and EWG. This Bane's breath is melting through them. They're just repeatedly getting hit time after time as DRG are just looking down, waiting out the Bane's breath before they jump in with that third party. But 2 members are hit, and that might present them into the fight. The trap doesn't get hit onto Kakaishi, but he got really close. But the trap does channel onto the others. DRG, absolutely brutal work there. Picking up a whole bunch of kills off the back of that Bane's breath. Third party comes in nice and big as Alliance getting themselves in a fight versus OUG. There's still dashes available to Zinyu, trying to put the damage in onto these Alliance members. Charging up onto Revenge. Revenge eating double dashes, and he is made quick work of. NY7 next up on the menu as he does make a run for it, and OUG just going to keep the chase up here.
A DRG with a crazy off spawn, both back-to-back, really, really awesome timings. But OUG is going to be cleaning up Alliance right now. Tough break for Alliance on the Siphon. They want to get this off spawn, but OUG is going to deny it. Jinyu, OUG, the king, finally having a good off spawn going to their name. 2 kills up. They are middle of the pack at 29 points. Still a really, really good day so far. You want to be around that 35 to 40 points for the day. And we are only on game 4. Still a lot of Naraka to be played. Wolves already recovering. We saw them die off spawn in Imperium. They're already up to 3 blue armors set up for that first realm of Yang. And this is why, like, running it back off spawn is generally a bad idea as long as you have a really, really good backup strategy. Now, JL as well having a good off spawn. They're setting up for a Realm of Yang. I'm hoping to see a nice JL versus Wolves Yang. I'm really curious to see how Zai is able to deal with the new composition on Hadi and Kylan. And JL was the first team to run these compositions, so they're the innovators. They should know the counter to their own compositions. I always love watching their examples of how they play it. ASE finally getting a solid off spawn. Not the best. They did get the 1 kill. They're not able to secure the rest of Wolves getting away, but still winning and not dying and having to reset. Always a good time. Let's see if ASE is going to set up and go to Yang. They have been there in the past. They haven't had a lot of success, but we are in the second half. So hopefully they're warmed up and they can take down one of these contending teams.
Yeah, it's a bit of a waiting game now for those Realm of Yangs to spawn up. There's Alliance being down 2 players already is very rough for them. Only got their Tammy left. Going to really make this game hard. I think this game might be done, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, mate. Unless somehow they can scrap together a whole bunch of cash, but with no kills, cash might be a little bit hard to come by. Be able to pick up the rest of the team. Going to be a tall ask here. As EWG actually being run down by X1. Don't know if X1 are particularly set up for this one. I think they're trying to just play denial. Realm of Yang spawning up soon. We are going to see a weather effect. Remember what happens with the weather effects? All of the troves open back up, but here comes the turnaround. Burn's going to get popped. They are going to try and touch it. They're able to break away. They do get ZDI hit. Bane's Breath even breaking out as well. DRG immediately firing out with that Bane's Breath as a defensive tool, and they almost got third partied there. They just have to pop the Bane's Breath and run away. Should be enough to scare them off for now, though.
DRG has come out of nowhere multiple times. Already up to 6 kills. Their timing and aggression for this Viper composition, absolutely perfect. And unlike the other games, we're seeing most of the teams slow down right now. We're still at 34 players going into this first Yang. OUG Alliance setting up nicely, and normally on Holoroth we see a ton of Sand Siphon, and a lot of other teams went other compositions this time. A lot of Kylan and Hadi compositions. I was wondering if some of the later phases were willing to pick up and go Siphon. We saw 5-2-1 go Siphon right now. Now, does Siphon beat this Kylan composition? It's very, very mobile. ASC and Wolves posting up cordially going into Yang in a single file. And now we're going to get OUG versus Wolves, JL versus JDG. A lot of really big fights right now. But we're going to be spectating OUG versus Wolves. 2 veteran teams going at it. Xinyu's going to take to the skies, looking for the mirror matchup for the Kylan. Hotties are going to be popping their ultimate, laying down the cube, and Xinyu's trying to go on to Wolves XCM with the pulse sword, looking for the flank, has a triple charge coming in hot, gets them against the corner, mashing them, all of their armor, stripping them. Both cubes are going to be stripped away. Xinyu now looking to keep up the pressure onto the mirror matchup, and OUG's SS is going to find the kill on an XCM. No ultimate coming out. We're saving our ults for Naraka 2. Now, can they bring it back in a 2v3 situation? NHQ does have his ultimate up, can pop it, but his teammate, Wolves ZK, cannot make it anywhere. He gets pressed against the wall by the Kylan and absolutely deleted. Now NHQ flying around. His best bet, 1 minute stall and a dream. He wants to try to stall this out, but the enemy Hottie is on top of him. The king is going to get the juggle. The cube will be coming out though. NHQ though, 50 seconds. Can he find the staller right now? He's going to scale rush to the sky. Jumping LB to stop the grapple stagger. Falling with the F3, trying to make his way out of line of sight. Is he going to get one more scale rush off? He does make it to the top. Ooh, nice juke from him. He is stalling this out. 35 seconds. Can he get OUG griefed right here? But no, he cannot. The pole sword scale rush is going to come out, and OUG is going to secure their first Yang win.
Yeah, that is... I mean, OUG, we know that they are just so good inside these Rama Yangs. Like I was saying in the last game, isolated 1v1s, OUG don't seem to lose them. They are so clutch. It's when other teams get involved. And speaking of which, BBE looking to jump immediately into the action and try and take these teams out. BBE already with that Verve Might in their favor. Even popping the no ult zone. They've got that Flamer and they're just going to cook SS, forcing them to jump away. Xinyu's trying to get closer, but he's just getting toasted by Fat Milk there with that Flamer. They do get a whole bunch of damage onto Ivan. Ivan just trying to break away, is going to get caught out here. Xinyu still holding that ultimate. Remember, OUG, they know there's a no ult zone behind them, so maybe he could just kite them into there the moment Xinyu pops that ultimate, and that's exactly the game plan here. Looking for the parry, able to connect it onto Fat Milk. Roy Hee caught in with the meter dump. That is absolutely massive. Xinyu secures the kill with the nunchucks, and now Fat Milk will be next up. Ivan's going down. They're trying to heal, and OUG didn't even have to commit an ultimate for that. Huge.
Yeah, Xinyu with the parry. He doesn't go for the parry punish. Instead, he goes for the full meter dump and combo with his teammate. The double charge ends up holding and stun locking his enemy. Now JL versus a 5-2-1. 5-2-1 still trying to recover their game. Very scuffed versus the super stack JL. Temiel's going to be coming down. Krumiel's going to go down as well. VVV stuck in a wisp. Nice job from the Temi to buy some time. 5-2-1 is fighting back the best they can. They have TXJ against the ropes right now. VVV has to make his win. They are going to lose TXJ. They do have Vermilion's buff. JDG on the third party looking in right now. 5-2-1 is having an excellent resistance to JL. And now JDG with the Yang depletion, 2 minutes and 25 seconds, wants to come in, wants to get some kills right now, and Fong is going to fall for JL. JL with every advantage ends up getting torched by these two teams. Now 5-2-1, happy with their win, tries to get out of here, but they are going to have to sacrifice Unique. Unique does fall. VVV, last one left standing for JL, and his Vermilion's buff is going to fall as well. And JDG is going to pick up 3 kills out here on the edge to cleanse their Yang depletion. Actually, 2 kills.
Yeah, only been able to get 1, so they still need to find another. Wolves have been able to successfully cleanse themselves. Able to pick up some kills as OUG. Birds might wearing off fairly soon, so this could be risky for them. Doesn't matter though, they secure the kill onto TET. Blink out of that one, but again, it's the alarm bells. You don't go far enough and there's too much of a signal. They're going to have to look to try and find the turn. SS trying to go in for the heal. Here comes the stun from YZZ. Can he actually make that connection? No, he can't. Yes, he can actually. They're able to secure 1. That's now looking for you. They're trying to get washed back up in time as OUG putting some pressure down. They are about to lose that Bird's Might. This could get very dicey for them. Leo goes down, however. As OUG, the Bird's Might wears off. Only 1 player was forced into the revive. It's TE's YZZ trying to make a break for the zone to break away from this one, but there's now another team waiting and gatekeeping the zone from them. Down go TE. YZZ slams the desk off the back of that play.
Wow. From such great heights, TE won Worlds, and now they're struggling in NBPL in the group stage, all the way down at 1 kill in dead last at 11.5. Now, we did see this during the weekly finals. They did pop off their last game, but I have to wonder, they still have LYD and Leo on their team, still 2 of the champions of the team. Can they turn it around? EWG inside zone, going to be fighting against DRG, and we've seen DRG's excellent Viper play coming out for today. The F3 is going to be invested. Nice big nuke coming out. Now Kakashi zoning back, sitting back. Cookie's going to fall for EWG, and now A 2v3 situation. Wu Chen is really, really low. Down to the last health. The zone is going to take him down. And now 2v2 situation. Can DRG close this out? Tesla ult's going to land onto the Lowy. And now both of these guys all in one focus attack on the left. But the F3 from Viper is going to do a ton of damage and force his opponent into a tough position. Jumping LB is going to come out from WX98. And they are going to clutch into the zone. Close call with the poison splash. DRG is able to secure it, but they are at max corruption. Can they make it into zone safely? Lots of teams have been waiting on the outside lately.
Yeah, there's been a lot of gatekeeping on the zone, and they're even being a little bit reserved on that one. Alliance are going to grab themselves this Spirit Well, get themselves some purple weapons. Don't really get good armor upgrades, unfortunately, off this one. They're just going to back off now, looking at OUG versus JL inside this Realm of Yang, but BBE and Wolves are going up toe-to-toe in a different Realm of Yang. JL, aerial stage, as expected. Golden weapon onto VVV. That's massive for them. It's going to give them a really powerful ultimate when they do equip that. For the moment, King taking a fair amount of damage, just chunking out a little bit. There's the F. Hits the King midair with it. Beautiful use. We'll get that refresh as well. And that Meteor comes back up, but for now, just using that hand sword to put a nice space in. There's the F, now refreshed and reused. Catching onto SSU. Huddy takes up to the sky, slams in with another slam of the left. Beautiful use of it. The burn should just be able to finish it off there. Now there's the ultimate coming down. The King is getting cooked under the chains. Another F still available for VVV if they want to use it, but for now they're just going to use the chain scythe to keep Xinyu in place. Xinyu is being cooked here. Still got that F if they need to use it. Just waiting out the chains for the moment as Xinyu tries to go for a bit of a turnaround, but 1 versus 3. This is going to be an incredibly tall ask, especially through that chain scythe. Has now timed out, but that doesn't matter. JL, that almost looks easy as BBE beat Wolves inside their Realm of Yang.
A good job on BBE taking down the dominant force of today, Wolves. And JL, they just look so poised, swapping targets. They go from Zai to Hadi, back, or they go from zipping to Hadi, back to zipping, back to Hadi. And even when both teams, or they were to take the sky, taking the cube, JL tracks them perfectly. We saw VVV's perspective, but what we didn't see was TXJ on the Matari, landing those charged F2, securing the kill on a very, very mobile Hadi. Now, Kyle and Hadi tries their best to extend their cooldowns, but their one vulnerability is getting rushed down on that Hadi before his second ult comes online. JL shows that weakness and capitalize on it, but this takes an intense amount of coordination between VVV and TXJ to capitalize on all of that midair damage. Both of those players are able to initiate a juggle, and both times they're able to secure the kill. It's very, very tough to pull this off, but this is why the originators will always have an advantage against the copycats. They understand why instead of just emulating. They know exactly why this works and why it doesn't, and we get a masterclass out of JL for their first realm, or for their second Realm of Yang versus OUG.
Yeah, really nice coming in from them off the back of this. 11 minutes on the clock, so still got some time, but Wolves, they put everything on this game, and so far, it has not gone in their favor. They lost their drop spot. They lost both of their Realm of Yangs. They have some serious catching up to do, especially when OUG, even if they do have their C buff on right now, they got 10 kills. Like, these guys have been performing very well. BBE have 10 kills. JL have 10 kills. There are a lot of very, very strong teams in the lobby right now as Wolves find themselves a spot to respawn. They only have 3 minutes left, though, so they need to kind of get on with it. Just seeing if anyone's ready to ambush them immediately upon spawn. Looks like they are going to be A-OK. Here they go. And it's on Wolves now to find these kills. They got 3 minutes to make it work. Well, they are donezo, and they are on 0 points for the last 2 games of the day. Unless they have rebirth charms, which we did just see unique use, so kind of forgot about those as an option.
2 minutes, 45 seconds for OUG, the King and SS. Can they find a first kill? And this is a good sign. Xing is going to fall from JDG to SS's pole sword. Now, OUG still has a workout out for them. They need to find more kills. They do have almost 20k on SS. They can opt to go play zone, try to res their team. It's always a little bit risky for teams hunting out. Now, Wolves as well in the same territory, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. They need at least one cure, but they don't have any money in the bank. They need to find every single kill here, but they're going to be running into OUG right now. Full sword slash is coming out from SS. XEM does a good job with his F to knock off them. Now we're going to take the skies. The win carrying them massively while XEM tries to jump again. Get his opponents off of him. He was going to be set down by OUG, and they're going to keep up this pressure, keep up this aggression. Jinyu still has ultimate online, has to be careful. The king is going to pop that V1 heal ticking down. Now Wolves is going to be cubing away. Multiple teams around here though. Wolves turning some of this momentum back, connecting to Jinyu, but Jinyu is going to pop that Kylan ult, and now the damage is going to be coming out. Car crash left and right, juggling juggling Wolves back and forth. Both Kylans coming out big, but the V1 keeping everyone super healthy. Jinyu though trying to end ZK on the zipping, but the zipping is battling it out. Battle support coming back. SS is really low. Jinyu is really low. SS first to fall on the hottie, but now the rest of the lobby noticing two teams all in each other. BBE coming in hot, and they're looking super scaled. Gold armor on Fat Mill, gold armor on Roy Hehe, trying to pick up kills, picking up where they left off, already up to 13 kills. BBE is looking poised to take this game but OUG's Jinyu, last one left alive for them. Can he find an opening? He's surrounded by enemies on all sides. JDG closing the distance. Jinyu double jump, getting away, throwing out armor beams, but the Tessa ult is going to put him in a tough position. He does get a parry. He does make it off, but for how long? Not long at all.
There it is. Not long. DRG slide in and secure the kill, and they kind of just baited everyone to fight each other very early. Both these teams with the Roma Yang debuff going toe-to-toe, and suddenly there's only 16 players left in this lobby. Like you said, 22-24 is kind of that magic number, but we expect to see in the final circles, and that Wolves versus OUG fight, ultimately Wolves do come out on top just because they still have a single player left in the lobby, but we'll see how long that can last for. They did get a rebirth charm. Maybe it's not cooked yet. Maybe there's a world.
It would be interesting, Hiprain, and it is always winnable. As long as you're alive, you can get kills. You can't get kills when you're dead. So we'll have to see how Wolves plays when they are in a scuffed game. Now, normally we've seen them in a very dominant position, and they've shown us how to play, but this time we're seeing BBE set up for this dominant position. Now, first Spirit, well, this one I don't believe has the buff, so you're playing for armors right now. Revenge able to pick up the armor right now. Everyone's coming in to cannibalize all of that loot. No ult zone is going to be hit, and with 17 people alive, it isn't as stacked as we normally see. X1 on the outside. We've seen X1 always in these end games. They haven't had the same amount of success as Alliance, BBE, and Wolves though. But still, getting into this end game healthy, even if you have blue armor, still is commendable. Can they find an opening though? Challenging Alliance. Alliance is going to rotate off right here. They did have to invest in Matari or their Kurumi and Temi ult. Now going on to the other side, we're going to get DRG finding out Wolves. Unfortunately for Wolves, they are going to lose one more player. I don't believe anyone else is left alive, but going into the current lobby leaders, BBE, will they be able to set up to win their fourth game?
Well, if they keep toasting Wolves like that, yep, Wolves are out of the lobby now. That is them donezo. The revive did not really buy them much more. There's BBE very set up. Golden armor, got the flamer. They got all of the control they need. And you can see Bane's breath is about to break out. Well, it is actually broken out in the middle of the map right now. So BB just going to get himself set up quite comfortably. Using that spear just to control the edge of the, well, the entrance to their little hidey hole. You can see it is going to be a white Tigers as the buff. So everyone's going to want this Spirit Well. This could be this is a game-winning buff for the teams. There's 20 seconds till that Realm of Yang ends, and then what the teams need to do is not what Wolves did and over-invest into securing the middle of the zone too early. You want to get there just before the Spirit Well pops, so you immediately get that cover, but you don't take all the free fire like we saw in the last game.
BBE is at 16 kills, DRG at 13, JL at 10, X1, no kills to their name, but still, they're here. They can find some kills. Same thing with Alliance at 1 kill. We saw Alliance almost fully pulled out with 2 of them down. They managed to res their 2 teammates and getting geared up. We're seeing gold armor and double purple armor Alliance. Now it's all going to come down to this white Tiger buff. It looks like Alliance is posting up, but X1 does want to challenge immediately. JL as well. Doesn't look like anyone's going to sit in the center directly, and BBB is going to take massive amount of damage already on the Zai. Armor circle is going to be invested. The cannon shot's going to be coming out from all left and right. BBE does have a Roar Burst. They're going to hold the center right now, and it looks like JL is going to opt out and slow down and back off. Now Alliance is going to make their move for the center. Alliance coming back from the grave. Revenge going to pop the Takeda ult. JL poking in with the Zai. Roy Hehe as well doesn't want to give this up for free. The charge is already at half. All the teams, only 15 players left alive, all poking in. Temi ult's going to come down for Alliance. It's going to buy some time. The other teams are going to have to hard commit if they hope to contest for this. It looks like Alliance may take this. It's all the way up to halfway. Aurora Breast is going to drop down, coming out from Ivan from BBE. He's not able to get it off, so now Alliance is going to invest their Kurumi. JL is going to dive into the middle with BBB and try to hold the center. Now cannon shots coming out from X1. Can JL hold the center? We're past that halfway point. Fong, BBB throwing out attacks over and over. They're going to invest Matarion, and it looks like JL is going to claim it. 3 minutes left, only 15 people left alive. The OGs are going to show us how it's actually done. VVV with the Zai. He's going to have back-to-back ultimates going into this last leg. Now TXJ gets his armor stripped. ERG on the high ground, Alliance just below, and BBE with triple gold armor still can contest JL. Now, in order to get that Thanos stab, JL is going to have to get multiple players low at the same time. It looks like they are on this corner. Alliance down to their last leg. JL, BBV trying to secure this last kill, but Alliance with the Temion is going to buy some time, go through the wall, and be able to get back to safety. And now on the top road, so VVV is going to spot out DRG, but he's not able to secure the kill just yet. On the other side, Alliance doing a good job of icing off the pressure of this white Tiger buff, though. Still 2 minutes on the buff, still a lot of time for JL to make some magic happen. VVV making his way out, Fong with the F3, able to keep him alive. It looks like VVV wants to go back to the high ground, force DRG down to the low ground, but BBE on the low ground doing work, finding the kills with their flamethrower, forcing X1 into a tough position. Roy Hehe leading the charge with the erudition, but on the high ground, you see X1 and the remnants of DRG being pressured off, forced between the two strongest teams, but the erudition of Roy Hehe going crazy. He's just releasing the blues, flying through these blue skies. TXJ's down to one focus attack, but Fong doing a good job picking him up. Still, JL not able to get the kill on one of these players. X1 doing a really good job of surviving on the high ground, repeatedly scale rushing over and over. Now JL coming up to the top with
there it is.
A focus attack. First hit is going to go down. Can they get more? BBE's Roy He's going to get pushed into zone by VVV. But Roy He fighting back with the Zai ultimate is going to be responded to by VVV. Can he get another kill? He's going to find Roy He down to half health, securing the hit. Teammates coming in, TXG and Fong trying to find the kill, but this rock is just doing so much work for all these players to survive. VVV taking his grapples to the high ground, not able to secure anyone just yet, but Roy He is going to get sent to zone by TXG. Another AoE is going to go down. VVV finding the center now. No more high ground left to anyone, but an ult is going to be coming out from Kakashi. The V1 stun is coming down. The whole lobby is stunned. TXJ doesn't have ultimate. He's praying for his teammates, so the Kurumi circle is going to come out. It looks like VL, even without all the kills, is going to secure this. Big parry's going to come out from TXJ, and JL is going to secure game 4.
I will admit, the White Tigers obviously played a part in that, but that wasn't defined by the fact they got the White Tigers that time around. You didn't see that kind of chain pops. It was only like maybe 1 or 2 extra kills coming in off the back of it. I am so surprised that Alliance gave that zone up. They almost had it, and I think they just got spooked off. Like, one player lost like a fair chunk of their armor, and they were like, "Oh, we could lose here because of this."
Game that we did get the first 3 games.
No GG means Secret Tunnel is anyone's grabs. And yeah, I think we're in for probably quite a quick day. Oh, Night HQ. There was no weapons. Did they get a weapon? Oh, they are struggling. Okay, they got themselves a weapon. That could have been a little dicey for them. No weapons off the start. Able to grab himself a couple of goodies, and they're getting jumped immediately. Night HQ loses so much health. Does have the ultimate, though, on the Zai. Can do a whole heap of damage, but losing way too much health as well. Gets the second slam back down as they're getting jumped onto. Night HQ does fall here, and Wolves crumble off the drop. X1 with an explosive start. Harry comes down onto ZK, and he'll be joining the rest of his teams in the respawn. That was so explosive from X1.
X1 had the disadvantage there. Wolves did get the ultimate on their Zai, but X1 with the perfect flank and the team combos covering each other perfectly. We're going to get TE versus ASE for the Fireflies in the north as well. Lemon down to his last leg. He doesn't have water with him to secure it. No lemonade and sweetness going down. Just pure lemons off spawn for this team. Now, BBE versus X1's LYD in the north as well. All of these teams in the north, I've been gonna lead the charge with the fist, gonna pop that V1 into the Zai, but the Moonbane is gonna be coming out, plus the Invis for X1. Unfortunately, it's going to be coming in too late. BB is going to be able to find that first kill, but they're still in the middle of this Moonbane. They do not care. They're surfing the Moonbane right now. Roy He is going to take a hit, but 2 of X1's players are going to fall down. Roy He does fall to one of the Moonbane hits, but no one on X1 can leverage any of this, and it looks like BBE is going to come out with a nice 3-piece off spawn.
Really nice start there for the side of BBE, especially when that was a bench ref against them. So they able to survive that. Really, really big. Seeing EWG playing this nice and cool, actually, as they are getting themselves just a little bit of loot sorted. Did start with a single kill. Didn't get anything else off the back of this, so... Yeah, we were expecting a pretty explosive start, and I mean, they have delivered off the back of this. It's been a very, very explosive start across the board for all of these teams. Now, JL, currently just ringing the bell. Alliance are in the area. He may get himself in a little scrap here. Alliance immediately do spot VVV. Fight's breaking out. JL slide in. There goes the F. Foxtail comes down. VVV losing a lot of HP, pinned in place, and I think that is just the escape button pressed. Panic button from JL, but I think this is now Alliance feeling comfortable. They know that they haven't got a way to break from the Viper or the Tessa without that Wu Shen port. They're just waiting for the perfect opportunity to slam that one down as in jumps One Feng. There's the ultimate from N7. Tessa coming down as well. They will be able to get the stun off. Can they get it before the charm breaks them? They're able to get the charm off onto a couple, but VVV locked in place. Viper stun coming through as well. TXJ trying to see if he can close the gap. Revenge has been pinned, and he will be avenged. Down he goes. Able to secure that kill, as now they're looking to turn it onto the remaining members of Alliance. It's a 2 versus 2 at this point. getting a whole heap of damage off onto TXJ. The clan comes down. Yuma's keeping the pressure up, but gets a whole heap down. One thing is Yuma versus two members of JL. The charm comes in, though. Can he find the play? Yuma pinned in place. They touch the urn to keep alive. He uses the F. Can he hold? No, the parry. JL secure the victory.
Clutch play coming out from JL. They lose the initiation. They lose VVV. And still, TXJ does not flinch. He's able to calmly press his V1 and secure the stun onto one player. That pole sword follow-up, able to burst down his opponent even on those buttery rocks. And when you're in a 2v2 situation, experience definitely shows. You don't falter, you don't get nervous, and you see TXJ coming big with the clutch, even with something unorthodox as pole sword Viper. Now OUG, tried and true strategy when you're on that Sand Siphon comp. You just want to play slow. You just want to play for that armor, for that first Yang, and go all in. They've had a ton of success due to OUG's Takeda. Now, normally, before he went over to Bowda, he was their Takeda, but SS has filled in the role, and he's been doing a good job today. But we're going to get TE versus BBE, top of the lobby versus bottom of the lobby. But the bottom lobby, the former champs, showing BBE that they still got it. All their armor's going to be stripped right now. I've been trying to buy some time. The Wuchen port is going to be forced out. Now BBE is going to have to make their way out of here. Does TE have the grapple distance, though, to chase this down? It looks like they do. And the Kylan of Wash coming in hot with the slashes. He is going to get hit by the F3 right now. Forced out, using that cube to get a nice reset. Hottie is going to keep up the pressure, not let BBE fully reset. Ivan has to be careful right now. He's holding his ultimate right now, but for how long? He gets down to 1 HP. Wuchen's going to be picking it up. He wants TE to overcommit, but TE doesn't bite. They are going to avoid the V1 of the Viper, and now all they have is their Tesla. Can they get some value off it? They are going to get a YZZ, but Ivan is going to fall. Big parry is going to come out from Leo. Roy He trying to make his way out. Does get a fadeaway parry, but the gold Africa from Leo is going to come out, and Fat Milk covering Roy He's flanked with a parry. 2v3 situation. Can they bring it back? Wash is going to get a parry on the Fabric, but his combo break's going to come out. Now Roy He comes in for the peel. He's not able to get it. Clank's going to come out. Leo with the chip damage, trying to just secure the kill. Fat Mick will fall. Sliver of health for Roy He. He's not going to be able to do it. And TE gonna show a masterclass of how to deal with that defensive play coming out from BBE.
That was a really, really impressive fight there for T, and a needed one at that as well, after how rough today has been for the front runners, for the team who everybody has had their eyes on all year long. Right now, Wolves getting a little bit of a nuisance put into them by JL. I thought TXJ popped the mushrooms, but actually he didn't, because he is not losing HP at all, so he's going to be okay. So JL are moving on. They don't want to fight for it. You do have those Rama Yang spawning up very soon, so keep our eyes on that one. As you can see where they are, Wolves, JL, and 521 are all collapsing on the same portal though, so I think things might get very dicey over there when that goes down. In fact, that's actually going to happen very soon as well.
It's interesting is no one's actually contesting the Spirit Wall, and the Spirit Wall is Draco Storm right now. Normally Viper teams go for this just because whatever buff is there, they're able to secure it. And even if they don't secure it, they have the Wuchen port to guarantee they won't fall. Draco Storm, one of the best buffs to secure if you're trying to get in and find a lot of kills. But it doesn't look like any of these teams care for it. They actually are just going to be hunting these Realm of Yang entrances. Now JL coming in with the F3, and whoa, wait a second. JL is actually going to go in with the Viper composition versus JDG. I'm trying to see. It looks like JDG is going to be running the Hottie Zipping Kylan. So does JL, the original creators, have the counter with Viper? Let's see exactly who TXJ is going to be focus firing. It looks like they're going to get a Tessa ult onto the Zipping, onto the Hottie. They're going to switch to the Hottie right now. V1's going to be invested in a Hottie in the middle of the Tessa ult. He's going to have to fly away, but he is going to get stunned right now. TXJ with the pole sword, gonna come down from the top ropes, gets a nice slash onto the hottie, but it's not gonna be enough. It looks like the zipping heels is gonna pick up the rest of the team, and now the onslaught of this Kylan is gonna be coming out. Nice peel coming out from VVV with the Tesla ult to stop some of this pressure, but it looks like actually JDG Singh is on the F2. Kylan gets the uppercut. Or the focus attack off the F2 confirmed, but JL still has 2 players left. VL, VVV, and Fong. Can they come back with the clutch? They are going to get the first parry. JDG is going to take down VVV, and Fong will get 1 kill, but it's not enough. JDG is able to secure the win over JL.
Very, very explosive fight there for JDG. Able to secure themselves the victory. Especially when they're to squeeze through a whole bunch of teams to get themselves inside that Roma Yang. Now cutting over to some of the action in the real world. Fat Milk getting taken down by Alliance. Ivan on the run, and BBE. That's a rough one for them now. They are down 2 players. Only Ivan left. He's going to have to probably look for a rebirth charm if he wants to pick the rest of his team up. Alliance actually just sitting in a purple bush while they do a bit of shopping. JDG grab himself a couple of goodies. Golden weapons, purple armors across the board. Pretty strong at this point in the game. The vault, I can't remember what it's called now. It's lit up. Does that mean it's been opened, or they can open it?
You're talking about the chambers or the keys?
Yeah.
They changed it so that periodically throughout the game, they're available to take. You no longer need a key for it, though.
Oh, cool. Well, I missed that change.
I think it happened within the last 2 months. It was only an Immortal War change.
Oh, I see. Okay, that would be why I'm a little out of loop on it then. Well, at the moment, Are Wolves down all their players? No, they're down 1 player. NiHQ is just hanging out at the top of a building. I don't know where the rest of his team is. Well, his 1 other player is Zing. Get himself in a fight here versus EWG. Bit hard to fight them with the Matari invisibility. Does make life a little bit more of a nuisance, as they are just going to look for the dashes through. I've been able to pick up a couple of extra dashes off that. There we go. Whole heap of damage. Ultimate will be timed out due to the no ult zone, and down they go. Really nice punish using that no ult zone just to shut down the Kylan. EWG get a heavy punish off there. There's Alliance looking to see if they can jump in. Massive dump on the spear. Big charm from the Tessa. This is getting explosive because X1 are also showing up into the middle of the fight. So many teams scrapping it out as we do have EWG 2-tick trying to finish up a kill, as it looks like they may be able to do so. Low HP, the Draco Storm keeping them locked in place. X1 with the 3rd party, 4th party, 5th party. Call it what you like. There's so many people in the mix. Everybody is just forcing their Vermilion Bird Smites out now. Alliance able to take down 2-tick. They're just going to slide away, call it good, and heal up, as I believe Wolves were able to find a revive onto one of their players. But I think they might have lost a player for it.
I think
It's
Wolves
really
got all 3 players up now. And they're sitting pretty at 2 kills and at the top of the lobby, but everyone's been closing the distance. Alliance already up to 5 and 49.5. Alliance could take the lead after this. Looks like JL is coming in with the Viper Counter, forcing the Kurumi ult from 5 to 1. Now TXJ and Fong are going to get ported out. 5-2-1. Are they going to continue the aggression? They are going to be going into a Viper ultimate and a Tesla ult. BBB is going to look for the Tesla ult, not able to get it. Temi ult's going to be coming down. Unique did get hit by the Tesla ult though. TXJ going to slowly pop his V1, create some space for his team. They have a reset, but Fong is going to fall right now. Ampy on the Takeda, putting up a ton of pressure, but we got TXG and VVV for the clutch. Can they find the clutch again in a 2v3 situation? Tesla is going to get 2 of them. Perry's going to be coming out, but TXG is going to get flanked on his back. VVV does a good job of covering TXG's back. We're stuck in the zone right now. Yin is going to come in to VVV's back. They are going to find 1 kill, but on the outside though, TE's coming in with 1 minute left for that Yang depletion. VVV is going to fall first. Wash is going to spend no time popping that ultimate, securing these kills for his teammates. Yin's making his way into the zone, trying to get away, but you can't get away from this Scar that's just gonna run you over, and TE is gonna come in and cleanse themselves of that Yang depletion.
I think we just saw 3 teams get eliminated in a very, very short succession there. We saw Wolves go, we saw 521 go, and who's the other one? JL maybe, or BBE? We just saw a whole bunch of teams getting wiped. That was absolutely chaos. As TE have been able to cleanse himself of the Yang depletion, they're going to be able to head back into the zone, but a bit of gatekeeping from OUG onto X1 here, although OUG are very low. ZDI is able to secure Zinyu, a kill onto him, and your prediction was right here, Raven. We expected this game to be a very fast tempo one due to the way that everyone was dropping, and they're kind of just dropping on top of one another. That has very much come true. Realm of Yang's open, and it looks like X1 quite happy just playing the zone OUG off, and they may be able to just get another kill onto Zinyu. They forced the Karumi ultimate out here. Rico turns around with a halberd, shred through the health bars, but Zinyu's going to go down, and that was just another kill gifted over to X1. They successfully baited them to get the res off so they could get another kill out. Really nicely played.
They're going into the Realm of Yang. Everyone's hot dropping. We were getting down to 22 people before this first Realm of Yang. JDG Singh going to be dropping down on the Kylan, looking for the flank play, looking for that R&B with the longsword. Not able to find AC. Does a good job of avoiding the focus fire right now. Matari is going to come out, even though she's in Vis. Singh's going to be able to pop that parry off. Now, Louis on the Zai, coming from the top ropes, looking for the flank play. Not gonna happen for him, but they are gonna find the kill onto JDG's Kiki. Kylan to focus on focusing the Zai, lets one of his teammates fall. Now it's up to them to try to DPS through this Kurumi ult. It's not gonna be enough. The Hottie is gonna fall as well, and EWG is going to clutch it up versus the Hottie comp. Now going into the other Realm of Yang, ASC versus DRG. Hottie, Kylan going at it. Kylan at the end of his ultimate, not getting that last kill. Same matchup as well, but this time it goes the other way. Corky of ASC is gonna fall to the Zai, hard countering that zipping, but Water down to a last focus tag. He's able to get that R&B off to finish off the kill. Now Don Q in a 2v1 situation. Both of his opponents down to 1 HP, but the double charge stab dodge with the fist is gonna take him down, and ASE's Water is going to clutch it up.
That was very nice from ASE, actually. Really, really clutch. So they're going to grab their hands onto probably a Mystic Might, as we do see a lot of people pick up. There it is. Mystic Might over to ASE. Oh no, Draco Storm. Sorry, picked up the Draco Storm. Interesting. So 15 players, 6 teams left. How are we at this point? We got 12 minutes left. We might be in for a very early end if we carry on playing at this speed. These guys are playing incredibly aggressive. We saw Alliance do a bit of retail therapy, grab themselves some new armor. They are a little bit squishy right now with what they're rocking. But we are dealing with DRG and JDG who have the debuff on, so we are guaranteed to lose at least 6 players in the next 3-4 minutes. So I expect to see some action break out very quickly. Actually, no, we're guaranteed to at least 3, because actually if they go toe-to-toe, then it's only 3 who go down. Maximum 6, minimum 3. Be a very, very explosive couple of moments.
We're seeing TE, X1, both with 10 kills, and EWG with 11. And looking at the overall scores, it's a lot more flat. Initially, Wolves and Alliance pulled ahead. Pretty big lead at the beginning. But as the day has progressed, Wolves hasn't kept their foot on the gas, or they got a little bit sleepy, as you said earlier, Hiprain. They're only at 2 kills. Alliance is keeping up with that momentum, though, at 6. They have potentially the opportunity to pass Wolves. Same thing with EWG. We haven't really talked much about EWG. They kind of stuck up out of nowhere on this Zai Matari Karumi. Now, this is what I was saying. On Morris Firefly Day, this nighttime where there's 100% Firefly, that's when you see a lot of this Matari Zai coming point out, you're able to snowball, keep your Zai with that ultimate, and with the support of Kurumi and Matari, she's able to go around the lobby, really bullying and enforcing her will onto other teams. And this was the other thing I mentioned that I found very curious. A lot of these teams for their second Realm of Yang have been going Draco Storm. This is something very, very new that I've only seen this season. Traditionally, you go for Mystic Mike or White Tiger buff to guarantee your whole team has triple ult coming out. But now more and more teams are rocking that Draco Storm. Now, you generally assume when you see Draco Storm that the team got Realm of Yang for free because they don't need to use their ultimate. So teams are actually less likely to fight you when you have Draco Storm. I'm wondering if any of these teams will pick up on the fact that these teams are trying to get away with this. Now, technically, in most scenarios, when you have Draco Storm up, you're probably still going to have one ult up, and Draco Storm just provides so much defensive and offensive capabilities. Every couple seconds, there's an AoE tick, and you're also given a massive regen. What this quantifies to in a heads-up matchup is you can literally just hold focus attack, wait for that AoE to go off, and the second you see your opponent staggered, be able to release without the fear of being parried. So it's very, very hard to lose when you actually do have Draco Storm. But speaking of losing, we got 2 minutes left for Yang depletion. Do you think DRG can cleanse their health, Brain?
Well, not if Keck loses that much HP. Does have to take the cube and fly away. As Don Q9 trying to get some damage off. Have a blink out to safety. Trying to make this connection happen. DRG also very low HP. Both these teams just need to full commit to each other. But the sound of this fight may draw other teams to come hunting to see if they can find that third party. So far, it looks like no one's really sniffing around as Donkey knocked into the zone, caught out by the grapple here from Two-Tick. He's just trying to play the kiting game, but they've got the ability to stick and just absolutely rip through that health bar. Down they go. Kill secured. And that looks like Jing's just going to burn out. He has the debuff. There's nothing he can do. Kakashi now looking for a turnaround. It looks like Alliance are just going to slide in and try and tidy this fight up, seeing how much has been committed. Yuma throws down the ultimate, does miss out, but Kakashi's still going to eat a whole heap of damage. Just down they go. Bit of a sad poison splash hits on as DRG, they're about to lose WX98. Down they go. And it is just going to be the one player. Alliance now gatekeeping. Karen's been getting up as Don Q, he's been seen by Corky. And in he jumps. That is going to be the end of them. Don Q goes down. Actually dies to the corruption, so nobody else gets the kill. And this is Sparked now ASE and Alliance. The trade blows with one another, but I think they're just going to walk away. This might be the first time we've had downtime in a while.
Yeah, it's just been non-stop action in this lobby. Everyone is just putting the pedal to the metal, non-stop W keying coming out from everyone. And we're seeing a couple teams we haven't seen before at the top. X1 finally getting some momentum, having a ton of kills. TE as well. So is ASC. EWG coming out of nowhere from the middle of the pack, trying to lead this one. And if EWG takes this Spirit Well, which I can't see which buff it's going to be. They are going to be getting Tesla ult by Alliance on the outside. Louis is going to back off. They don't want to be in the center there. As that Tesla ult does go off, they are going to get peppered still by the Alliance. Now ASE is going to take the center for a second, but no one wants to hard commit in this situation. ASE a little bit hesitant. EWG is going to make their way back into the Spirit Well. Water and Lemon, the dynamic duo, looking to get action in there. A couple trees setting up for these drop down focus attacks out of left field. It's gonna be very tough to claim this one. I don't believe this one was the buff. It's just so early still into this round. We're still at 7 minutes. They are able to pick up the gold weapon and gold armor though, fading out, and EWG's looking really poised to take this game, Hibrain.
Yeah, EWG very set up right now. Although there are a few teams to kind of give honorable mentions to. TE being one of them. Very strong right now as we're seeing just Zai to safety. Don't want to be dealing with that anymore, so I'm just going to back off. There are a couple of other teams who've also got a serious amount of kills under their belt. as the Bane Breath comes down in the next 6 seconds and normally slows people down. EWG in position nicely though, because they are at a shop, so they can do a little bit of light shopping if they need to, grab some stuff. X1 is going to fire a couple of cannon shots out, trying to see if they can find Cookie. ASE also right behind them. EWG are just going to move on at this point. Is TE on your screens right now? They have, last I checked, 10 kills. Can't see because unfortunately their Soul Jades are up at the moment. Yeah, still on 10 kills.
10 kills is a very, very solid round going to those last minutes. TE has been struggling for this whole day. Now, Leo, looks like YZZ and Wash are actually in for TE. Now, Wash on the Kylan, we saw him earlier inside Yang, devastating the enemy Kurumi with those non-stop slashes. Now, I haven't seen an endgame in this spot in a long time. It's Treehouse over here on the corner with the ballista. A lot of verticality going to this endgame, and look what we got, Hip Rain. We got the White Tiger Spirit Well for this endgame.
No.
So the possibility of the Thanos snap is going to be there. We do have a lot of trees, so I imagine it's going to be a lot harder to lock a team down as long as no one just allows them to snowball and doesn't contest them for the kill. But again, will we see the lobby highly contest this Spirit Well? Multiple teams going to be setting up. Looks like EWG first here to set up with the Blister Ring on Lowy, holding the center.
Got it.
Get Tessa ult, but I don't believe it's charged up to the maximum point yet. TE zone. X1, ASC, all of the teams are jumping in the middle. No one's getting this for free. Kurumi also going to be invested by EWG. Louis and Cookie gonna get knocked out of the center, and now Leo with the blistering on the hottie coming in hot. Everyone's jumping in. Perry's gonna come out with Louis, but he gets sent flying by a Kylan. Bye-bye. Alliance now dropping down from the top roads with the delayed V1 Viper now taking the center. Where is the charger? We can't even see the charger because everyone's contesting it so often. We're only at the halfway point, I believe. NY7 is going to try to pop a heal off. They blew all of their cooldowns to take the center, and it looks like ASC is going to go back, challenged by X1 to the center. Kurumi also going to get invested. They're trying to take the center, but Water is slice and dicing through X1, trying to get them off center, but X1 is tanking it. They don't want to let it go. They got the Zai ultimate up to zone out everyone else.
About to get it.
Have the last little bit left. 3 minutes left. Can X1 pull off another snap and delete the other 10 players of this lobby, Hibrain?
X1 have been a very sleeper team today, not really performing at all. And that could be their opportunity to get it. There's one pop. No one's really close by, but there's a big cluster of players over there. X1 are going to want to get immediately into the middle of all of this action. 13 players left. Health bar starting to get whittled down. X1 actually just playing the cannon game for the moment, just trying to see if they can kind of chip away at the health bars from a distance before full committing. But I think the opportunity to full commit is rapidly approaching for them. They got that F onto XLY, waiting for a good opportunity just to throw it down, as the Tessa Charm does actually hit onto multiple people. Everyone's on the low ground. They're trying to avoid and evade being hit by X1 here, but that is going to be an opportunity to jump in with your Zai. Coming in for the second slam down. 1 kill already picked up, and that's actually not enough to get the pop to start off the back of that one, as Water pops XLY and is just keeping them in the zone, not letting them get back in. XLY is able to get there thanks to the healing, but that's going to be EWG securing a kill onto Jean. There is a couple of kills coming in for X1. Cookie goes down in the middle of all of that. Everyone's just trying to stay up nice and high, trying to stay nice and spread apart with this White Tiger snap as a potential option. But Wash will get popped in the middle of the fight. Lemon, low HP now, could be next up on the menu for X1. And they are just putting kills together left, right, and center. There's another player down. It's actually going to be ASE who secured that kill, denying, but that is going to be enough. There's the chain, there's the kill, there's the pops. It's X1. Only Leo left, and he doesn't even want to give the kill over. He's just playing the escape game here. Goes down in the tail end, though. And there it is. X1 secure game number 5.
See the satisfaction coming out from X1. All smiles. Finally, we've seen them in the mid game. We've seen them in the end game get there. This is the first time we're able to see them capitalize on their loot, their kills, with that multiplier, that 1.2 multiplier coming in. X1 pulls off a massive game for their game 5. And we see the rare last to see the pro teams of what they would cook up as kind of like an exhibition match. Now going into game 6, last game of the day on Predoria, we're going to get JL. Going to be running that Sandfight system versus BBE. Can BBE keep up their momentum versus the former champs of TXJ and BBB? BBE has been really, really well. Ivan's going to get surrounded though, and Fong is going to get the slam onto Hihi. It looks like Fong is getting back onto the role of Takeda. Previously, he was put onto the Kurumi, and VVV took up Takeda. Now it looks like they've given the reins back to Fong and put VVV back on the Kurumi. Now, VVV has been known in the league as being the premier Kurumi player. First, we're going to get ASE coming in with the third party, Water and Lemon, making quick work of Fat Milk and Roy Hihi, creating that nice lemonade. And now Ibin is going to be last one left standing with JL closing the distance.
Yeah, I've been trying to hold his own, but he can't secure the kill. One thing, he's going to be zoning everybody away. Hasn't got that ultimate charged up yet, but it is getting there. If they carry on at this rate, going to throw the Kurumi ultimate for the armor replenish. They're going to put a little bit more damage in. There's one thing, jumps into the meter dump from Corky. Is going to continue to keep the pressure up, though, as JL secure themselves another kill onto Lemon. They are just racking up the kills at the beginning of this game. Corky trying to make a break for it, but one thing with these fans, keeping the pressure up onto him, was parried. He's going to have to repick them back up. Nunchucks come out. Corky using that spear effectively as VVV now goes down. He still has that fear and shove. One available to break away from Water. Has the F. Can he use it? I don't know if he's going to be able to pick his team up in time, as Water not going to be able to get turned on to. Beautiful little turn from ASE.
Now we're going to get TE versus 521. 521's been having a bad day. Can they turn their luck around? And TE has been picking up their gameplay. Pampi is going to get ported out by Cloud. Does TE want to continue the chase? Pampi still has that V1 left online. TE's slowly making their way across. The counter grapple is going to be coming out, but Pampi threatening that F3. He is going to miss both of them. He is going to drop the V1. Can he get the stun? Nice fake coming out from TE. He fakes dropping, Wash fakes dropping down, Scale Rush backed up, and Pampi is going to miss the full V1 stun, but he's still going to keep up the pressure onto YZZ. The port is going to come out from the Matari. He is going to get blown up by the F3 coming out from Pampi, but Kurumi going to try to get her revenge here. Going to get that LMB focus attack into the follow-up. Can she find the 1v3 situation? Leo trying to create some space. He is going to get a parried twice by 521. Kurumi cannot do it. Leo does fall, and 521 is going to get some momentum off spawn.
Yeah, it was a nice start there for 521. They got overtaken by TE after that last game. So need to get some kills under their belt. TE on those respawns right now. Really struggling. The winners of our previous game, X1 though, jumping up the scoreboard after their last game, getting a really, really solid victory. Can they keep it going? Pretty set up here for ZDI. Purple pole sword and purple armor. The Lions were in the area, but looks like they're not particularly interested in taking a fight. I mean, they got their revives and they got about 4 minutes until the 4 or 5 minutes until the Realm of Yang spawn up, but I guess they're just not interested in losing that gear and that armor before. Is JDG just go for a cheeky surf? This is amazing. It's the best part of the stream. It's so satisfying. Relaxing. I love it.
I wish you moved even a little bit faster on it. It does move pretty fast when you're going downhill, but going uphill, all these little platforms that they added too Definitely really, really cool. But it looks like EWG's Cookie. I didn't realize they weren't teammates.
Yeah, I thought they were friends.
Yeah, this was a hot pursuit. Sting doesn't want Cookie to get away. He is going to invest his ultimate, get the stagger off. Going to be popping that V1 from Cookie. And Cookie is still going to try to slide and vibe his way out of here. He doesn't have any grapples. Action trying his best. He's waiting for his F1 to come back up. He does get the stagger. And now Cookie, again, in a tough position, he is going to get that, hit this F. And now Cookie's going to go the opposite direction. Goes with the sliding uppercut. Not able to get it. Sin is going to be able to chop him down. Take Cookie's legs out from under him. But what a exciting down for this off spawn on Perdoria.
I can't believe neither of us realized they weren't on the same team. We just thought they were having a casual surf, and it turns out that was actually a high-speed pursuit. Totally missed that one. Now, Alliance and OUG are getting themselves in a more obvious scrap. OUG have actually summoned up the Bane's Breath, though, so Alliance are going to need to get out of town real quick, but SS keeping the pressure up onto Revenge. So much damage coming out from him. Bane's Breath still on the edge here, so they want to make a break for it. SS is knocked back. Invisibility from that Matari doing a lot there for Alliance, and X1 looking for a third-party opportunity as Alliance actually looks to jump back in. The no-ult zone is popped. It's going to be really big right now as it's going to stop them from using that Zai ultimate as Revenge is just desperately trying to put some damage in. F goes wide from SS. He is knocked back by one of the members of Alliance as X1 still waiting for the opportunity to jump in. Here they go. They're going to look for Alliance. Not turning the other way around. Alliance, they're going to feel the real pressure of this one. OUG still trying to keep that pressure off and see if they can find the opportunity. Yuma goes down. X1 the ones to secure that as they're now going to throw down the Viper stun, but they can't go any further forward due to the no ult zone. So there's a little bit of a waste, and that might signal a bit of a dinner bell onto ZDI. Just going to have to go for a glide, slide away. But OUG still keeping that pressure up and getting a clang off, getting a little bit of pressure to try and buy them some space, but they are just not letting ZDI break away. The urn does come down, and in jumps Wolves with the Viper stun. I don't think they actually found anyone. They did get SS, so they're just going to absolutely blitz through the health bar. The healing from the zip will keep them alive, though, and SS is able to break away. Sorry, Kurumi healing. Doesn't matter. They're healed. They're all right.
Yeah, it was actually the red jade in the north. When you get procced, it looks like the zipping Mortal Defiance or the Mortal Defiance jade, except
that's it.
It actually heals you for 1,000. We didn't really get to see that OUG was landing up there. It's definitely the strongest landing position and highly contested. Gives you a huge advantage. So that 1,000 HP heal definitely can change the tide of fight. We're going to see Wolves find the kill onto X1. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the Hadi Matari Viper continue on. I wanted to see whether or not that comp had any type of future with the sustain, but I suspect, Hipper, and you are correct, that it's because that team did not have enough points to go with the traditional zipping or Kurumi. They were just out of points, and that's the risk of gambling your points early in a tournament. If your healer or your third character goes into the penalty and you don't have enough points, that means going into your last game, you're gonna have to play a scuff composition. Now, we did see in the previous group play for week 1, that same situation happened, and a team forced onto Matari, Valda, Monk, and surprisingly, it worked.
What's going on? Neither of these teams wanted to jump into the realm of Yang. I think they were trying to interrupt each other. Oh, is it blocked?
It looks like they're waiting to go in third to see whether or not they can get a free Yang. But we're going to get BBE versus Alliance. This one is not for free.
Not at all. Roy Hee trying to put some damage up onto Yuma. Yuma are able to space them away, though. Still got that ultimate available to Roy Hee, so keep your eyes on that. I've been losing a lot of HP. Lovely little scale rush. Secures the kill immediately for the side of BBE. Revenge needs to make this one work. Can they turn it back around? Down a single player. Just playing the evade game for the moment. They do still have their Zai, though. But Zai's losing a lot of HP. Roy Hee just absolutely melting through NY7's health bar. Trying to get that additional damage off, as I just think this might be a little cooked here for Alliance. But he going a little bit low here. Is about to time out on that ultimate. We'll get some sustained back, as this can have to be one hell of a play from Revenge. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know what happened, but they just lost the player way too quick.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. Before the ultimate's going to go out, he is going to get executed, but now we're going to JDG versus EWG. Kurumi ult's going to be forced out of JDG's Kiki, and now the Zai ult is going to get active, is going to connect to the zipping, and this is the tough part when you don't have Kurumi and you're going against a Zai. You're not going to live. All of Zipping's healing just gets cut in half when you get that burn damage. She's not able to get away and use her F dash, her V. It's just once Zai closes that distance, it's impossible to dodge against a really, really good Zai. Now on the outside, we're going to get Wolves versus X1. The Revenants, looks like we got a little bit of res going out. XLY is going to get a parry onto Wolves, but the 2v1 going to put a ton of pressure onto them, and XEM is going to come in with that F3, blowing him up. LYD with the Matari F1 is going to do his best to get a little bit of siphon, but it's not going to matter. XEM is going to come in with that double charge, break his back with the R&B, but now they have to worry. JDG with the Vermilion's buff coming in with the third party. They had their success clearing up X1, but now they have to deal with a very, very aggressive JDG and the Vermilion's buff. They got the Zai, Kurumi, Matari with the gold weapons. Can they get away? They're going to make their way into Imperial, but it doesn't look like they can get the distance. XEM is going to fall. He's going to sacrifice himself for his two teammates to get away, and JDG is going to continue this snowball.
Yeah, now they found Ivan. It's a little sad there for Wolves, because if they had kited into BBE a little earlier, they might have been able to keep them alive. They did have a bunch of kills, so they should be able to afford a rebirth charm, but it's kind of the re-gearing, which is going to sting. Tutik gets hit by the parry here in the middle of this fight. Does go for that F. Doesn't quite land it. It's like that potential third party as Alliance are coming in. Remember, Alliance, I believe, have the Renwa Yang debuff, so yeah, they're desperate to try and get these kills. TE as well joining in. This is getting very dicey very quickly. Just an explosion of action and damage as all of these teams collapsing in one after the other into the middle of this fight. Massive ult from Tutik with that chain scythe just shredding through the health bars. Goes in for the F, hits the 3-man with the F. Gets knocked back himself and is losing a lot of HP. The dual halberds will finish them up as Wash secures the kill. Again, just an explosion of action as they're trying to desperately see that opportunity. Wash slides in with an F, absolutely obliterates Fat Milk and takes a whole heap of damage off everyone else. TE gonna get himself the Kurumi ult to refresh that armor and keep this fight going. JDG are being forced back, and those Vermilion Birds mites are starting to run out for these teams, so this could get very dicey. EWG getting hit up by TE. Revenge secures a kill onto Jing as well there with a pole sword. EWG, they've lost they're about to run out of time, and everybody is scattering away from the fight. It has been too much action, too quick for them.
Yeah, so much action going down in Imperial. DRG still has 30 seconds left on their buff, but once you got past 45 seconds, it starts getting very, very dicey. TE's what is this? LYD trying to make his, or YZZ trying to make his way out of this, but EWG's Cookie staying on top of him, spots out his kiting path. Now YZZ has his work cut out from him. The army's going to come out from Zuwan. Nowhere left to go. He's going to get bonked into oblivion, back to the lobby, and we're down to 31 people going into the second Yang. It's actually very, very stacked. Unlike the previous game, surprisingly, game 6 is usually the really, really fast game, but because it's Predoria and everyone has opted to play very, very slow, just because they feel like going to the end game here is a lot more profitable. Now, if you get to end game here, so far we've seen a lot of White Tiger buff. Now, technically it's a 50-50, but so far in Predoria, it's been more like 100%. I don't think I've seen a blue buff in a hot minute for Predoria, but now going into the second realm of Yang, the Spirit Well is going to be the Mystic Might, the blue buff. We are going to get the 3 Realm of Yangs in the south, but most of the teams are actually in the north. A lot of teams are going to have to reposition in order to get down there and claim one of these Realm of Yangs. Remember, Realm of Yang has changed with the loot that you get in it. You do get gold weapons and gold armor on this 3rd Realm of Yang, so it is very much worth it to go if you feel like you can win. Now, I feel like a lot of these compositions inside Realm of Yang are close to 50-50. We're going to have to see whether or not BBE can continue their dominance or the previous bi-weekly, the first bi-weekly DRG. They were super dominant during their group stage. Can they replicate that versus BBE this Realm of Yang?
Well, let's see how it goes down, as right now, Roy Hee got that dash charged up, now ready to use if they want to. DRG, very good at third parties. Let's see if they can pull off the 1v1. Roy Hee still holding that ultimate. Taishi going very low here. Here's the ultimate from Roy Hee. Immediately the Kurumi ultimate comes out as an answer to it. They do not want to be getting pinned in place. Sandstorm as well to follow, to keep them pinned in. A massive ultimate from Roy Hee, just locking down the members of DRG. 3 people hit by these slashes. It is about to time out, and they will lose a lot of power once that wears off. No more dashes available to Roy Hee. Have they been able to survive the onslaught here for DRG? Looking for a potential turnaround. Dongqing does have the Fear and Shove available to them. It's going to knock back a couple of members, but that is now timed out for them as well. Got the F on cooldown for the moment, just trying to play the escape game, the evade game away from the members of BBE. Dongqing needs to go for a cheeky heal if they can. They have got the Kurumi tether, but in comes Roy Hee with the parry and the steal of the weapon as well, as a bit of a denial from WX98. He's now trying to put some distance between him and Roy. Roy gets caught inside the Wisp though, and that's a massive chunk of health taken off of him, losing all of his armor. This fight is still got 30 seconds left and nobody has gone down yet. Kakaishi, they're going to turn onto him. BBE managed to get themselves 1 kill. 20 seconds left. Can this be turned? Can this be saved? No! BBE able to win the Realm of Yang.
Wow. What a magnificent clutch up from BBE to close this out. Normally, I don't remember BBE being so dominant inside the Realm of Yang, but today they are absolutely on fire. And again, 2nd Realm of Yang, they don't have ultimates and they're going to go Draco Storm. This has been very, very common. Most teams are going with this. Now, we still have 26 people alive with 6 souls, and Wolves is going to be popping this V1, catching TE's YZZ inside zone. He down to a sliver of health.
Oh, he's done it!
And the F3 is going to come out, and Zem is going to clutch the 2v1. Big play coming out from Wolves, Zem, and now his teammate doesn't have any white heals. He needs to find a couple heals so he can go and save his teammate's clutch. But now we're going to get TE versus ASE. Water and Lemon gonna create lemonade out of Wash. Send him packing. And we are down to 22. Still 6 souls left. A lot of time left to cure that Yang depletion. We're going to get OUGs versus Alliance. Who do you have taking this one, Hitbrain?
I think with the start they've had and the fact that they've got that White Tigers buff, it's all OUG. Revenge immediately popped. The pop goes down as well and gets a whole heap of damage. There's the F as well, just to give some heal cut. Looks like they haven't been able to finish up anything more. NY7 just playing the kiting game. Looking desperately to try and get a grapple angle on, but they're out of grapples is the big problem right now. NY7, I also think, is out of grapples. There's going to be the kill. It's 2 over to the side of OUG. Revenge will not be getting back up. And up to 5 grapples, 12 grapples. There you go. They're final grapples now.
Now, looking at the scoreboard, OUG's at 9, DRG's at 9, but they do have Yang depletion. They need to find a kill right now. And speaking of DRG, they are going to find Wolves right now. The K out in the middle of zone, dragging this to deep water. Dongqing does not want to go out there and possibly be sacrificed. The zone is really, really far away, and they're reaching that max corruption. They do have 3 minutes left. This isn't all in just yet. Usually with 2 minutes left, you can still find a decent kill in the lobby. Now, unfortunately for them, we do have a ton of very durable comps left alive. We have the Zyphon, we have the Hadi Kylan, and we have Mirror Siphon. Not the most ideal situation for finding kills quickly. JDG also with Yang depletion, hunting, I believe this is on the southern side. Looking for kills. They're going to hit that no ult zone. No ult zone is kind of like hitting the bat signal. The whole lobby can see it from the other side. So it's one of the ways to bait teams out. At least, even if you're going to fight another scaled team, at least you get to fight another team. Now, they are going to find 5-2-1 on the outside. It's going to be a Viper composition. F3 is going to be invested by TUTYC. And now Zyult is going to be coming out. They are holding that material, waiting for the inevitable V1. Tessalt's going to be coming out, but the Atari is going to perfectly counter this. Tootie is going to be able to grab his soul back, and we're going to see the Wu Chen port out in the distance. But unfortunately, for 5-2-1 and JDG, BBE on the outside is going to be spotting it as well. They make quick work of 5-2-1's Yin, instantly deleting him, cleansing one of their kills. But on the north, right above it, BBE and OUG is joining in the fray. Now, OUG, SS, coming in, gonna deny Pampy. Tough break for 5-2-1 today. They've been having non-stop bad luck all day. But JDG, a minute and 25. You gotta make your luck for yourself. The time is ticking. They need to cure this Yang depletion.
Yeah, they're starting to struggle a little bit. Been forced. Only one player is cleansed right now. They are just going to move away. Do you see JL in their sights, who are currently in a fight? This is their third-party opportunity. Getting good F off here from TUTYC, and that may be a difference maker. They miss it, but Water is going to get hit up regardless. Can they get the cleanse in time onto TUTYC? TUTYC cleanses themselves. Only one player left now for JDG who needs to be cleansed, and one thing going very low. Kurumi ultimate does come out in the middle of all of this action. TUTYC about to get their ultimate back up as well, thanks to that Soul Bloom they picked up, and I think JDG may just have to call it. They're going to jump back in. The slam comes down. One thing going very low. I think that is just going to be enough for them to walk away. JDG may just have to sacrifice their Kurumi, sadly, unless they can find one thing here. Looks like they can't. Gonna back off. I say that, they're actually still pressuring. There's just too much action. Oh, they lost Keck anyway. JDG went down to BBE.
19 people. 19 people left alive. Spirit Wall's coming up for the armor. This Spirit Wall doesn't have the buff just yet. 7 minutes, 35 seconds in. It looks like BBE knows that. I believe this is JDG. Ahead of him has no ultimates to the name. They want to keep forcing the issue. Last game of the day. All points matter. Even though this is multiple days and every team gets to have 2 days, it doesn't look like anyone's taking their foot off the gas. They're still playing for tons of kills. But going into this endgame, looks like most teams do have that purple and gold armor. Unfortunately for JLVVV on the Kurumi, it is going to be a blueberry. They are going to test and chase him down. Hadi is trying to create that opener while Zuan lurks in the background, but JL does a good job of covering and moving, peeling for BBV, and it looks like BBV is going to make it under, but OUG is going to show up with the Challenger's buff. And now a full melee breaks out, and VVV on the Kurumi is going to fall while EWG slowly works their way in. They don't want to overcommit. They want to keep having this consistent gameplay, and as they go in, they're going to see OUG is in there with the Zai ultimate. Immediately, all of the players from EWG is going to be cubing out, but OUG showing tons of aggression, trying to stay on top of them, but the 80% Moonbane is going to split up this fight. The dead center of the lobby forcing everyone to the edge, and it looks like JL's Fong on the Takeda is going to be being chased down by OUG, but he's going to make his way across the Moonbane, and OUG is going to relax, give up that kill, and slow down to try to secure this win.
Yeah, it's slowing off a little bit at this point. A wee bit of a waiting game now. Wait for the Bane's breath to wear off. SS. Bane surfing on the edge, seeing if they can find a couple of cheeky bow shots onto anyone trying to make their way over and away. So they're just going to keep the pressure up. DRG, Cookie was able to get a kill. SS eats the Bane's breath, maybe a little bit too aggro there. Once again, jumping into the Bane's breath, misses the F here. They're just consistently keeping the pressure up. Going to go for a quick heal on the armor. So UG have successfully repositioned away from the building. There's JL's Wanfeng being hunted by EWG, and now there is only one member of JL left in this lobby. 13 players. BIWEEK, it's Friday the 13th as well.
13 people left. EWG trying to close the distance onto TXJ, but he's not going out without a fight. Nice parry coming out from TXJ, but he's surrounded by everyone all around him. OUG's now has him locked in his crosshairs, and the King is going to find that kill, chopping TXG in half, and now OUG BBE fighting for this last day Spirit Well. 12 people left alive, not as super stacked before, but still this Spirit Well super important if you're looking to close out this game. Every single team that's gone on to win the game at minimum has won this Spirit Well, and now with the reset of all, boy, he is going to get back-to-back Kylan ultimates, and the first person he has in his sight is the Matari of the King, keeping up the pressure on OUG, one of their main contenders to close out this game, forcing out OUG's Karumion. Now they're going to be fading back. They still have triple ult to the name. They don't have White Tigers, but they do have the blue Mystic Mine, but this gives them the advantage of being able to perfectly see everyone around the map with that ESP to get some good fight selection. OUG is going to be really, really vulnerable here. They don't have that Kurumi ultimate. They do have the threat of that Zai ult and Matari going this last little bit. SS backing out, slowing down the fight, but BBE not playing this slow. Normally they're just ranging in this endgame, but not many people left alive. Voihihi is leading the charge with his gold habit. He's trying to pick off any lurking solo players, and it looks like JDG is going to be the last solo player left. Tootie C is going to take this guy, pop the Zion with the F3, but he's down to his last little bit of health. He is going to be able to get an armor swap and delay this kill going across over and over. We got 3 teams fully complete: BBE, OUG, and EWG, with JDG's Tootie running around. Who do you have taking this last game, Hitbrain?
I mean, there's a lot of power onto the side of BBE, but I just don't think I can count OUG out. They are consistently good. They're close on the kills, and here comes the fight. That's going to be the secure from the King as well, making it 13 kills over to the side of OUG. Desperately looking to try and put some other kills together. It's 3 full squads all going toe-to-toe. OUG are a little bit lower on the health department right now, but they've got the Karumi to keep them healed up. As Ivan going to step forward and try and contest here onto OUG. OUG going to now turn their attention actually towards EWG. SS loses a lot of HP off that one, and the King just trying to put some pressure in onto the back. They slide in, they get a whole heap of damage onto Cookie. Cookie, he's going down here. That's another one to OUG. The power of the F. Absolutely huge. Fat Milk gets himself caught out. SS doing some serious work here with a chain scythe onto Fat Milk. Wants to be targeting the healer. Is going to get knocked back though by Royhihi. SS is struggling. They're caught on the tree stump, so they can't reposition. They are able to move back in. Karumi ultimate will keep them alive, but they're just being juggled. The amount of damage that Royhihi is doing, he just won't let him rejoin into the zone. The gatekeeping is absolutely huge. Now OUG, without their star, can they make this work? They've still got a chance. They've got the Matari, they've got the Karumi to keep this going. Royhihi's ultimate is timed out most crucially. That is what is gatekeeping people from the zone. And they've actually been able to pick SS up, back up with the Karumi. The tether paid off huge, so a lot was used there. OUG is the King, loses a fair amount of HP here. Massive Aurora burst coming in from EWG on the side, but now it's BBE who are being gate kept. Massive parry lands onto Fat Milk just to knock him back. Aibin taking to the skies and just avoiding and evading any of the action. Aibin is just once again gatekeeping SS from rejoining into the zone. The Karumi tether is being so clutch for him. OUG's SS, he is just constantly being baseball batted out of the zone on the loop here. Ultimate now charged up for Roy Hehe. This is going to make life really hard for OUG, and I think that might just spell the end. Zorn on that high ground, trying his hardest to keep this going. The King has healed up somewhat. BBE, full squad, trying to stay high. Everybody's just taking up to the sky and just avoiding and evading away from BBE, but it has been a bit of a misposition here. Can they make it work? Roy Hehe going very low. Massive dash coming in for Roy Hehe, though. And that's going to be BBE closing this game out with the win.
A big clutch coming out from Roy Hehe to get that first place in the 1.2 multiplier. You're seeing the fist bumps coming out from BBE. They had to be satisfied with today's performance. Non-stop consistency coming out from the Vietnamese boys. A lot of work going into this. And finally, their work pays off for this day one of the week 2 NBPL Trios. BBE is going to take it with Fat Milk, Roy Hehe,